How about now?
Now we can hear.
Hey everybody, it is Thursday. It is time to talk some stuff from the barracks. On Players Wanted, of course, I am Joker from Players Wanted, and with me is the man of the shortest stature but biggest heart, Greg Paparizzi from Dead End Outfitters. Today we're going to be talking some events. Later on, we'll be joined by Sal Z Monster from Third Coast Airsoft to talk about Stonebreaker and some other events coming up. And nothing like starting a couple minutes late because of technical difficulties. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and I want to thank you, Papa, on air for helping out. Yeah, getting some guns fixed and repaired and all that fun stuff. So
my pleasure. Well, not always my pleasure.
It was not. Where'd it go? Oh, damn it! I'm gonna have to go get it. I meant to have it right here. Hey, Angie. The first Hey, Angie of the night. So we're going to talk a little bit about events and everything else. Can you go give me that box that has the things inside of it? The black box on.
Oh, God. And
by the way, I think I figured out what the actual problem was with this. There's got to be some sort of video buffering error. It is not actually the internet, because as I was waiting for you to jump on, I had saw the same thing happen with the pausing. So it's got to be some sort of video buffering error that's happening. But I also want to thank Greg for giving me a really cool, really awesome gift. Here, let's turn the light off because that's too much. The Golden Girls strategy game, and we got to get the rest of the Golden Girls out of it for this. It gave me that idea to put the Funko Pops on the respective buses and all that.
Make sure you before though. I mean, not everybody. Some people are new with the Battle Bus Adventures, and
yeah. So for those of you who don't know, obviously we have the Battle Bus. The first one is named Rose because she is a Golden Girl. So, and Rose is the only, Betty White's still alive, so she's the last Golden Girl standing. It's my firm belief if she dies, the world ends. So, yeah, so we're going to go ahead and put that and mount it right on the dashboard. So, can't wait to do that. Let's see.
You know what you got to do with Blanche? You got to put Blanche right on the hood. She's got to be like the Mack truck hood ornament, right there.
Get her cast, get her cast that way. That would be awesome. Get like hood ornaments made, right? With that sly, what you wearing? Look. So we're going to talk a little bit about some events. Like I said, Sal will be on later on to talk about Stonebreaker and some of the cool, exciting stuff for that. We're going to go ahead and go over some of our schedule that we have coming up. So for those of you that always ask when do you guys want to play with us, where we're going to be at, seeing me on the field is probably a hell of a lot more likely than seeing Papa over here.
I'm working on it. It's not.
You always say you're working on it.
Listen, I look, it's not that I don't want to. I would rather have folks playing on the field or playing with guns than me being on the field playing. Toy guns. Sorry. Hang on. Replicas. Excuse me. Replicas.
That's what I said. All right. So,
by the way, what's our time count right now? We're at 5 minutes 19 seconds. You're still good.
I
No
know.
F-bombs
I
yet.
got to beat 13.
No F-bombs yet. You guys keep us honest there. Joker has not dropped any F-bombs as of yet, and he's trying to beat 13 minutes.
I'm trying. It's going to be a hard pass to do. Especially with the stuff that's been going on today. So, so let's go over the op list before we go. Actually, I'll go over some stuff there. So, and especially with what I'm about to say, it's like.
What are you laughing at? What did I do? That's usually a laugh.
Evidently, Wiener wants in on this, so let's go ahead and bring Wiener in.
Well, you can always fit a Wiener in.
See, and I'm trying to be as good as possible. And what do you do?
Robert Wiener wants to come on the show. We always can make room for him. You can always squeeze Wiener in. Can you not? Sometimes it takes a little finagling, right? But in the end,
you just got to force it,
Yep. In the end, Wiener fits.
You might have some resistance there. So, all right. So let's talk about some of the cool stuff that's coming up. All right. Obviously, March 19th to the 21st is a TCA event, Stonebreaker at GTI. So I will tell you guys that
oh shit!
What the?
I'm just gonna hide him down there for a little bit because I have no idea what the hell. What did he do to his? You need to clean your lenses, dude. It's so bad.
I over it and I peeled it off. I'm like, crap.
It appears that Wiener got some smooch.
Some smooch.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
You squirted a little something on it there.
Better?
That made it 9 times worse.
Hold on a second. I'll be right back.
What did that make it? Did that make it better? Is it better now? My Lord!
I'm trying not to cuss, but holy cow!
This is a man who they trust with $1 million machinery.
Yes, $1 million.
So yeah,
when you want calls all the time. You want them seeing what you're sitting your pajamas and your buddy stuff.
What the hell? Ow!
Right? You know what I gotta know is here's the thing.
What? If I would have cursed, it so would have been his fault.
I gotta ask.
First, why?
I gotta ask. Every time you come on, that happens.
Well, what it is, I have a stick over the top of my camera to cover the camera up, especially when as many conference calls as I'm on.
So do you know how you fix that?
You can get a camera like mine that actually has a little slide thing that
or you just get a sticky note and you put 2 folds in it. So you put the sticky note on the back and you fold it over. I'm just saying, either that or you can continue to lick your screen. The
last time I was on live and you got to see my awesome face was when I talking to you guys anyways. So that was last time. It's been a while.
It's actually better. Whatever you just took off your thing, it actually sounds a lot better now.
Because you know what? That last piece of the sticker was covering my microphone.
Nice.
I remember my first computer.
Yeah. At least you remember your computer. Probably can't remember your first girlfriend.
No.
Well, I'm going to do this also.
Ingrid Zimmerman.
Oh, man. So before we get things kicking off, we had a little bit of an issue this week. I did not realize that turkeys, if they become severely stressed, can turn around and screw everything to death.
They intensify their procreation capabilities.
Yeah.
They try to make sure that their lineage stays alive.
Evidently, we had some botulism poisoning hit our coop, and it took out some of our birds. But mostly, the turkeys just decided to go on I'm dying. I'm taking everything out with me, one way or the other. And we lost about 80% of our birds over the course of a few days. So luckily, we have 5 that are recovering. So we didn't lose our entire flock. But who would have thought that as soon as turkeys become that distressed, they're just like, YOLO.
They get to banging it out.
A female turkey is laying down and she goes, I'm done. He goes, no, I don't care.
I'm not.
I'm dying here. So am I. I'm taking you with me. All right, so back to the positive side of things. Oh, here's a big announcement that we did not make because we found out about this Friday. So those of you that have been paying attention to what we're doing with the Battle Bus. So Battle Bus Adventures, where the hell did Wiener go?
I can't with him anymore. This is fantastic.
He was here, then he's gone. He's
like, nah, I'm done. I don't want to talk about this.
What'd you do?
I hit the button that says log in for some dumbass reason.
Hey, I didn't curse.
Have you been having troubles cursing?
Well, last week we tried to make it to where, see how long I can go. It was like 13 minutes and 49 seconds before I just did like 3 obscenities in a row. So we're going to try to
them out there to just rip them out.
Yeah, it was an excited utterance.
So is that what we're calling it?
So that's exactly what it was. You want me to play back the video? I'll play back the video. You,
the people.
I'm gonna start getting money from you every time you do it.
It's so worth buying 4 lunches at Op. You curse again? You got to buy a lunch. Really? I'm gonna make it worth my while.
Yeah, he owes for multiple lunches now. So if anybody wants a free lunch, find Joker next Op game. He'll buy it for you.
If I'm there. Wiener with the new house.
In the new rental. It's not the new house. It's
I thought you were in a rental.
But gotta have my gun room sort of set up. See my closet back there.
Nice. Actually, there is a call. There's a call out there. A call to arms I need to do. I need to find a pin for an M249, because.
And that's why your camera just
because Greg lost mine.
So Greg doesn't. Oh, I was gonna say, doesn't Greg have one? He lost it.
Greg lost it.
Greg did not lose it.
Greg lost it. Hey, Chris, I know you're watching. When we had the M249 at Overwatch, did it or did it not have the pin in the back inside the stock? And for the record, it's the one that's like hanging like a crooked wiener right there.
Mm-hmm. Whether it was in there or not at Overwatch is irrelevant. When you gave it to me, it wasn't there.
No, it was there. Anyways, so go back. Jeez, COVID. So let's start. Let's start with other fun facts on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who had to go get a COVID test on Wednesday?
Why?
My wife got exposed on Friday.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say something you got at your place you go play at all the time, Miami Airsoft.
See, Chris? See, Chris says it. Chris says it was there. And I handed off the gun to you. And if the gun would have went, I would have told you, find me a pin, please. But it didn't do that. So anyways, going back to originally the good news we heard about on Friday. The bad news was,
it was in a bag when you handed it to me.
Way to go. Jeez.
The gun bag? Then I'll search the gun bag, but I doubt it's in there. Anyways, so let's start about the bad news on Friday, right? My wife calls me up. I'm driving back from dropping off the Navigator at the shop to get the AC fixed, which is now fixed. Yay. I'm in the backseat of an Uber. My wife calls me up. She goes, I'm in the process of packing up my office right now and putting everything into boxes. And my jaw about hits the ground. I was like, oh my God, she lost her job. And she goes, you want to know why I'm doing this? I was like, no, yes. I like to know why. And she goes, because blank has COVID in the office. And I was like, oh my God, I thought you got fired.
It's more relief than you dying. I just didn't want
she goes, you're more concerned about my job than COVID? I was like, yeah, because we've already had COVID. It's irrelevant. Meanwhile, the Uber guy's like freaking out because my wife's been exposed. But she tested negative, and we both tested negative. I tested negative on Tuesday because I wanted to make sure if I was going to go see the little man with multiple health issues over here, that I was not going to kill him with
I got
COVID.
mental health issues. My STDs are cleared up.
He's a walking health issue.
Cleared up.
So the other good news we got was that the Muscular Dystrophy Association reached out to my wife and sent her the article saying that a predominant drug for muscular dystrophy has just been approved by the FDA. So those of you that know what the Battle Bus Adventures is for, is to help people with limited mobility play airsoft. Now, one of the main problems that my son has, even if we can get the bus up, let me rephrase, the bus is up and running, but to get him on the bus and be able to play, besides the whole COVID factor, would be the fact that can he even hold the gun up on there? I know I saw that 14 minutes. I'm free. New record. So the cool thing about it is that my son has a deletion in his genes from 45 to 51. What this drug does is it edits his genes to bridge that gap of 45 to 51 in his genes. Okay. So now he can actually produce the protein to build muscle. It's imperfect protein, but at least it's still there. So Friday, as soon as I saw that thing going, I was like, oh, cool, this is awesome. And then it said something that the study's continuing through 2024, but the drug's been approved. So I was like, oh, I need to find out more. Can my son get on the study, or is this drug ready for manufacturing? So I went ahead and called the place up and said, yeah, about this drug that just got approved. She goes, well, you're talking to the right person. I represent Florida. I know your doctor's offices. We're going to go ahead and send the forms over to get your son on it. I was like, oh, it's in production already? She goes, yes, it's in production.
Nice.
So I was like, cool. How much is this going to cost? She goes, well, the drug costs $250,000. One dose. But that's all I need. So
that's all you need, one dose.
Yeah, because it corrects the genes and everything else. So really, really cool news. Really, really great news that this has come out, because now my son could probably get into between 8 to 20% muscle growth, which does not sound like a lot, but it stops the degradation of his muscles.
Which is way more than what Wiener actually has.
Yes. As I get older, my muscle degradation is there.
So the cool
asshole. Oh.
Again, it wasn't me. So it was really cool. It's a really cool, good news that we heard, because this is a possibility that my son might be out on the airsoft field within the next 6 to 9 months, because it means that he might actually not only be able to stand, but to walk short distances.
Well, it helps his immune system too.
That too. It'll build up his lungs and his heart and everything else like that, making sure that those muscles don't go down. So, which is one of the big things, and also prevent him from getting scoliosis. So, this is a positive stream today.
Sweet.
We're talking about turkeys screwing things to each other to death, and talk. So let's talk about what really this stream's about, and let's go ahead and pop over to the events. What the heck? Sorry, I'm all of a sudden my messages just exploded for some reason. Private messages and on my phone and stuff. So sorry about that, guys. All right, let's talk about events. So obviously we got Stonebreaker coming up at GTI. Woo! So for those of you that have never been to a CCA event or GTI,
you're missing out.
You are missing out. GTI is a really good event, a really good place especially if you've never been there before. If it's like your first or second time there, it really is a large facility with a lot of cool stuff there. We'll talk more about Stonebreaker when Sal gets on.
Yeah.
Because he's going to join us and talk a little bit about that. Because I'm pretty sure they still have some helo flights that are available. Which, so if you have never done a helo flight, doing it at GTI is pretty good, because there's a lot of outside combat that happens, which gives you a lot of targets to rain hate down on. All right. All right, I need to close out. I need to mute this.
How's your OCD doing?
Ben's finally moving out of.
It's not OCD. It's literally what's going on in my ear is bidding from this one Discord server that I'm in, and it's.
Mute it.
It's. I just did. I said, give me a second. All right.
It took too long.
Yeah. No. See, it didn't work. That did it.
Almost. You were close.
All right.
By the way, can we thank Yordi? Can we thank Battery One for not showing up to the all you can eat less than mediocre sushi place?
It was mediocre sushi, wasn't it?
It was very mediocre.
I see his patch. Yeah, let's thank Yordi for a second. First off, we'll wish Yordi a happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
old man.
Happy birthday. Congratulations on hitting yet another year around the sun. But you so Yordi comes to my house, picks up three of Greg's guns, 2 of my guns, to bring to Greg for the possibility of having at least some of them done by Saturday. Yeah, that didn't happen. He did not show up. But
we're not even watching right now because he's off celebrating his birthday.
Yeah, actually, he's going to like a spring or something.
Devil's Den or something like that.
Devil's Den, yeah. It's like it's a spring that's inside of a cave. We want to go there when it gets hot.
Hopefully, he has his floaties on his arms.
He's buoyant. Okay.
All right, so let's talk some more events. All right, so besides Stonebreaker, we actually have a couple of cool things popping up in April.
Yes, we do. Funny you should say that.
North versus South?
Yes, sir. Look at you. And wait, is there anything before that? I don't want to jump.
I don't want to do North versus South. I know Elkin.
That's one we'll talk about that one in a minute.
I'm going to that one too.
Which one's first?
We'll talk about North. Go ahead, let's talk about North versus South. So April 10th through the 11th, because the game before
April 10th
is the night game.
Is the tracer only night game?
Yeah,
the tracer only night game. The lights will not be on permanently. They will flash on and off throughout the night while gameplay is going on. And in order to play, you must have a tracer unit and tracer BBs, obviously. And that's not part of North versus South. I just didn't want to. You can use it today.
I'll be in I've actually got my room and everything's unpacked.
Son of a gun.
Oh, I put it on the charger. I found my Brighter C. It was under my desk. And the reason why I found it was because I literally dropped my my AirPods today, and one went pating somewhere in that general direction. So I had to go hunting for it. I was like, "Oh, there's the Brighter C."
Yes, April 10th, and I'm glad, Ben. You're definitely welcome to come. April 10th is the tracer only night game. We're gonna do like we did last time. Gates will probably open around 4. People welcome to come, walk the field, kind of get set up, sit around, talk, hang out, do all that. We'll have a dinner. We'll actually be doing dinner that evening, and we will probably have beef tips.
I'm about to say, where's my beef tips?
Yep, we will probably have beef tips that night, and then we will have the night game. And then anyone who wants to camp out is welcome to camp out. And then the North versus South game will be the following day. The game itself will kick off no later than 10 a.m. 10 a.m. is start X.
Is it rain predicted or no rain?
As it stands,
it's Florida in April. What do you think?
5 weeks away. So, but I'm really hoping that that it's not. I doubt it's going to be anything even remotely close to what last one was. We should be fine.
Splish, splash, splish, splash, glob, glob, glob.
It's lucky. I don't think we didn't have the boat last time, did we? During that game? Oh, did it?
Yeah, it was there.
I couldn't remember if we had the boat.
It was there.
That boat was floating. Florida.
So and then the 11th. So normal time, people can start showing up at 8 a.m. 8:30 registration time. We'll have our safety brief. Between now and then, we'll go through. The rules will be posted. Everybody will be asked to read over the rules. It already is published, but we'll make sure we put another link to the waiver, so you can actually make things a little bit faster. Sign your waiver when you show up. Just bring it in, check in. It's night game is standard entry fee $20. The North versus South game is $40. That includes your lunch and a raffle ticket. So
raffle.
And some of the improvements to this game are not just in the gameplay itself. We are doubling, at a minimum, we are doubling the amount of staff on the field.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Again, for the record, not me cursing.
No, you're going to couple them all up here shortly. We're
But if they're your size, technically you're only making quartering.
Nobody's my size.
Actually, no. There's a guy that works at the KFC near my house.
He's not.
He's actually shorter than you.
He's not.
He is.
Is he a little person then?
No, he's a little. I think he's just taller than little person height.
That would
next time you're down, we'll have to go by there and we'll just have to say, "Hey, can we measure up real quick?"
At a town center, we found your doppelganger there. One of the servers.
I'm telling you, it's very hard to find somebody my height. It really is. Most people think they are, but it's very hard to find them. So, but yeah, so we're gonna have at least twice as many staff on field to try to keep things organized. And right now, the way it looks, we are predicting approximately 175 players. So this is going to be a massive event, and you will be engaging all day. Like there's no hiding from that. When you're talking, 85. What is that? 85 players on either side. That's a lot for that field.
For the record, me and my team are on the north side. Just give everybody a notice there.
You live on the south side. How you?
No, I don't.
If you draw the line across the state,
I'm just above it, like by that much.
Well, I'm north side,
but there's
if I count.
But there's also like some balance issues that we talked about with that as well. As we're on the north side, it helps counteract some of the hard and fast hitting mentalities of the Miami area. So if you play a lot in Miami because the main field is Miami Airsoft, your mentality's YOLO when it comes to respawns. So run and gun, and how many people can you take out before you get hit? And luckily, Op 31's not that big. So because it's not that big of a field, respawns don't take that long. So it's very easy to be like, all right, fine, I'll run in and take 3 or 4 guys out. That's how we train, is to take out 3 to 4 guys per time for each death that we have, and it's an attrition game at that point. So North versus South should be a lot more interesting. I mean, part of me still wants to just pour and I need that patch.
Where'd you get that one? We have a salty bitch patch, right?
Yeah, well, I didn't know you have one, but it came from Kevin Crispo. Yeah, Kevin Crispo Walker. Mr. Walker gave it to us. Me for the
when did he bring that one out?
I saw him where the heck were we just at? Not Irene. Yeah, Irene 2. Whatever the heck it was over there. No, it was God darn it! I have the patch right here. There it is. Iron Horse 3.
Tiny's going to be very upset.
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's not. Look, guys. I mean, that's not really an original idea because that.
No, I mean it's the same design with the girl with.
Yeah. That's not the first time I seen it though. The first time I saw it on a patch, but I saw that going back to. I think the first time I saw that was back in WoW days. We were using that around.
And where what?
World of Warcraft.
Oh.
Back in World of Warcraft.
Before we became an airsofter.
Yep. I'm a man of many hats. No, when I used to play World of Warcraft, we used to. That's where I used to always say your tears are delicious. Doing player versus player combat as an alliance hunter coming up from behind somebody and just be like, "You're dead." Anyways, let's see here. So speak of the Walker, and then he might appear. he started as soon as we started mentioning his name, he just sent me a message about Elkin. Yeah, so for North versus South, I almost want it to rain like that again because it was really fun splashing all across the field like that.
I had a good time.
I would rather it not. Although I did, we didn't really hear a lot of complaints about the we heard one complaint actually.
One complaint.
I didn't complain. Wasn't me.
No.
Yeah.
We know who it was. Complained.
I mean, there was some people that complained about it during the event a little bit, but then as soon as you turn around and said you were warned, it's not like you suddenly had a surprise of, oh my God, it's muddy.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't a shock. You showed up, and we had the conversation. I had the conversation with everybody, and it's not like it's not like I left a window open and it rained on the field. Like nothing we could do about it. And that's, sometimes that's the chance you take with an event.
Yeah, and the reality was, it's like everybody had a chance to go out there. It's like Yordi. Yordi was complaining about it. He goes, "Oh man, my boots." I was like, I can't say the words I was going to say. I can't be accurate to my statement. Beep, please. I'm running around in this nonsense. You're a Marine.
Yeah. And I like to think that we did something that. Excuse me. I'd like to think that we did something that normally wouldn't happen in a large event. He got there. No, Richland seat. That wouldn't happen a lot. If you went to like a Stonebreaker, or you went to an Overwatch or something like that, and you paid for your ticket and other short of a hurricane, you show up, you're going to play. They're not going to cancel the event. Well, I like to think we gave the opportunity for people to opt out.
Hey, Wiener.
That still counts.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It does. It's visual. It counts.
No, it doesn't. There's only the only reason why you'd know it is because I taught it to you. Hey, look who it is! Wow, Dougie, it's Dougie, and it is Kevin. So we wanted to address a couple of things. So Kevin sent me a message, and he's like, "Yo, is Tiny Alex?" So I'll let you explain, Kevin.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Kevin, can you hear us?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Now we can, yeah.
Are you still playing the video in the background, Kevin?
Oh, yeah. Let me stop that. Sorry. Technology.
I was like, I'm hearing myself. I love it when people are watching the stream as they're talking to us. Now, guys, just to let you know that we'll be knocking like Kevin and Doug out as soon as Sal gets on because he's going to be talking about TCA. But we can go ahead and talk about a few things. So, what was that about the whole controversy with the patch there, Kevin? What was that about? Tiny can go suck an egg?
Yeah, yeah. So, Papa, just to let you know, me and Alex are friends from a patch group, and I have his patch and he has mine. So there is no animosity. Plus, mine's like 12 times bigger than his little one.
I'm not saying that you had
you're talking the DEO.
Ours are fine. I mean, the tiny little patches that work wonderfully.
Hey, Doug.
Shit.
Hey.
Is Doug on dial-up?
No, can you hear me? I'm actually in the back of my van.
Are you living there?
Down by the river.
Yeah, down by the river. Yes, yeah. No, I am actually still at work. It's a good time. Oh, look at Wiener busting out. Wiener.
Yep.
Wiener, I need a new Wiener.
Attaboy.
You need one of my patches, yeah. Are you going to be at Stonebreaker?
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
Dougie's going to Stonebreaker?
The 2.0 or whatever the new one is.
Oh, you got the party not the Wiener party? Yeah. It's here somewhere.
So wait a second. Dougie's coming to Stonebreaker?
Yeah, he's Imperial 5.
Oh, nice. All right, so we'll get the Stonebreaker as soon as Sal comes on. But so the next event we're going to be talking about is obviously Elkin, which is Firestorm. It's a Lion Claw event. So if those of you that saw the videos that we were putting up for Mayhem Mill and you liked what you saw, evidently that's a lot of what Firestorm's going to be as well.
Yeah, the only thing with the AO at Firestorm, it doesn't have quite the equipment that Mayhem Mill had. But other than that, it's an amazing AO.
I just want to do the hood rat stuff.
Oh, you're a loner, man. You're gonna go do your little
No,
road
I am not a loner.
It's 112 knife kills.
Lone wolf.
You really are. You have to admit it.
Wolf. See, we don't have to worry about you. I mean, you can associate with the team, but you're a one-man wrecking crew. Is he telling me again to?
You know, do you know what he's saying? Anybody on the chat would like to put in there what he's saying? I don't repeat it because I'm a gentleman.
One of these days, I'm just going to take off with him and just experience the craziness that he talks about.
You can't potentially try to lose you.
Well, the cool thing is he has video to back it up.
No, he's a lone wolf.
I am not a lone wolf. The problem is that most people stop and become too tactical and don't follow or don't verbalize, hey, we're stopping, or Joker, stop, because
I can only carry so much oxygen with me.
Yeah,
you got one gear
there's
forward.
never a chance in God's green earth that Wiener is ever going to keep up with me on the field. It just won't happen unless I have a broken leg in a wheelchair. Close, Ben.
Hey, man.
Close, Ben.
Slow is smooth, smooth is fast, and there's nothing smoother than a wiener.
Right.
So what happens, like what was happening there was that none of my guys were with me, right? If I had even two of my guys with me, I would have slowed down a little bit because I'm expecting as I go for somebody either to say stop, hold up, or anything, because I'm going to keep going. If I don't see if I have no targets in front of me, I'm just going to keep moving and go to my final destination, which I was trying to lead these guys to multiple times. I knew we can get behind enemy lines and really mess them up near their spawn, and then come backwards and take all objectives and stuff out
from the shadows.
Exactly.
You notice how when Mark's walking around, he's holding on to his shoulder. You know, he's like, it's always hurting or something like that. That's because he's always patting himself on the back.
Man, I'm really resisting the urge to really say.
Wiener, go look in the private chat, Wiener. That's what he's saying.
Well, I saw that. That's Ben Marino's comment.
No,
look in the private chat.
Private chat. Oh, private chat. Hang on. Oh, I see one there.
Yeah.
There we go. Otherwise, I keep hitting log in and keep getting disconnected, so I got to be careful.
A lone limp deer. Okay, well, that is what I said to one.
Is that Ben talking out his ass? Oh no, that's Will Leitch talking out of his ass again.
Mm-hmm.
So, are any of you guys going to the Brushy Mountain?
Unfortunately, I couldn't get tickets and I couldn't get the time off.
I was told by the wife I have to start picking selectively what events we're going to, because when we heard about Damien's medication possibly being $250,000, and our deductible might be upwards of $25,000 for it. It's one of those things of okay, I'll behave. Yeah. I mean, we're definitely going to Stonebreaker, and we're bringing the battle bug in the battle bus and potentially the gun truck. But I'm really waiting for Sal to come on because I don't know what I'm allowed to say. But going back into Elkin, in respect, talking about Mayhem Mill as well. Those events, when you're doing inside CQB, it's great being somewhat tactical, but the best thing is if you can move and get behind the enemy, it messes them up so bad. Like Wiener, you saw me do it at Comfort, Southern Comfort, where I just went.
Yep.
Sorry. And thank you, Tats.
Oh.
Thank you, Tats.
Yeah. Hey, Steve. That's awesome. All lies. He's a lone wolf.
38 minutes and 29 seconds is a good time. No, not yet. Not yet.
We're
lone
supposed to hold
wolf.
off for cussing.
I'm trying to. I'm trying my best. But I
So
can
the
tell you right
longer you wait, the harder it's going to be next Thursday.
That's what she said.
Just saying.
That's what she said.
So, like Steve, so it was really funny. So Sunday morning, right? I got up and my intention, 100% of my intention was to stay with the group, no matter what. Stay with the group. I knew I was always going to be out a little bit in the front, but I would communicate more effectively where I was going, what I was doing, so I was always within earshot or at least line of sight of the team. So we get out there, in the first hour, everything's going beautifully until my gun goes down. So then I had to go and get another gun because my gun just died. Greg fixed it because the motor burnt out, right, Greg? Back
Yes,
me
sir.
up on that. The Joker gun died. It was up. So when I got back to the game, I tried linking up, and there was one point where I was like, all right, we have to go this way. And all of Dark Horse 6 turns around and goes the opposite direction. I turn to another guy who wasn't a Dark Horse 6 and say, and you wonder why? And they wonder why I go lone wolf. Fuck this shit. I am leaving.
You know what? Listen.
40 minutes in.
You enjoy.
Fuck you. I did not line up. Fuck you. I did not run off. I was there. I was waiting. And even as you were following me, I said, okay, let's go. Let's do it this way. And I turn around and I'm still 200 feet ahead of the next guy behind me. So, but anyways, let's talk about elking. Kevin, you came on to talk a little bit about elking.
When you color in the little books, do you just say it doesn't matter and go right outside the lines?
Evidently, I'm being too loud for the wife because the door just magically closed.
He left the squad and ran off. Lone wolf.
Just saying, right?
I'll be bad at lane nav. What do you mean lane? What's lane nav?
Land. Probably supposed to be land nav.
What's
I don't
land
know.
nav?
It's just lightsy. I mean, he can barely spell, food.
No, I didn't just run off. I turned around and my squad was missing. There's a difference.
No. You were missing. They weren't.
They knew
No,
exactly where they were at.
That's the key.
Lone wolves
you
usually
were
don't know where they're at.
Do that shit.
You
I was
were
going to be
missing.
objective. All right, Kevin, you're up. Talk about.
So Elkin is a when you want back history on what it really is or what it was back in the day.
I've been there.
So Chatham blankets. They were big in World War I and World War II with the soldiers.
All
These
the green
amazing
wool ones.
Yeah.
Okay, I used to have one. Uh-oh.
You okay there?
Must have been a lizard.
Something just jumped on me.
He has 37 animals at his house, right?
It was Chucky.
He has
Did you put
species copulation happening in the backyard, all sorts of stuff. So, just continue on with what Elkin is.
Yeah, keep going.
Don't mind him.
So this family that made these blankets, and that's what made them famous. The what do I call them?
The wool green blankets is what they were.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name.
One in my garage.
There's so many mills now. I'm getting them all confused.
Really?
But
get it out of here.
That's where they made their big fame, was those military blankets, wool blankets. And that place had been in the family from the late 1800s up until I think the late 80s or early 90s, when some Dutch company, I think, bought them out and then went bankrupt 4 years later. Anywho, the guy that owns that also owns Greensboro, where we played Southern Comfort, and he just purchased Mayhem Mill where the first of this year. So
Is that guy single? Because I'd like to date him. I'm just saying.
I thought Mark was all yours.
But so North Carolina, South Carolina are big textile places from back in the day. Of course, everything went overseas, and but they're just amazing AOs.
So I'll tell you right now, Southern Comfort was, I think it missed a very good opportunity to really be an insurgent urban warfare type thing with the way that it was set up. I think it was just missing something. It could have been really awesome with all the destroyed buildings and everything else. This one, I think, besides the fact that we had a lot of people not calling hits, I think it was perfect. It was no real storyline, just find a bunch of cocaine. Okay.
Wow. Hope that stream doesn't get taken out of context.
I think I got it on video where I found like one bag of cocaine. I was like, I'll take that. Stuffed it in my dump pouch. Found another bag of coin. I'll take that. And then they walk up to people. You got drugs? And the one guy goes, I'm 50 years old. You don't want to be asking me that question.
Hey,
Originally, we were kidding around about that game that we need to have fake dogs. And as the DEA, we need to shoot them. The cartel's dogs. Like the ATF.
No.
it kind of gets up there a little.
Yeah, and that's why we didn't do it. But
That's all you need.
Don't shoot the puppy.
PETA coming out there.
it would be like a blow up.
No, we need people like Will to be walking around on all fours with a leash on their back.
God.
And
You're
then we
getting
see him.
excited now. Stop
Because
talking like that.
Because they're little bitches anyway.
Oh, damn.
Anyways, I'm really looking forward to Elkin. That's the next one. I guess I should probably buy my ticket.
What's the date of that?
April 16th through the 18th.
Can't go to that.
I'm
can't go to it? You can't
everyone
go to
that's listening, all 11 people that are listening, know what the date is. I'm sorry, what?
14 people. Yeah. So, Doug, if you have the opportunity to come down for that, brother, you should come down to that one too.
That's the middle of April, right?
Yeah. Freddie's going to be the TAN CO for that. Federal Forces.
Yeah.
Oh, we're fighting against Freddie? Because Tats, we're going green for that,
We
right?
Papa too. Dark Horse says
Yeah.
they need you, Greg.
I
Come on,
can't
you
go to
gotta
that one.
Tats
No.
is
What's that?
green.
You can't go to that one?
I can't. I actually have that is the birthday party, right?
He stupidly
Stupid.
planned. Yeah, stupidly. Yes, it is stupidly planned some sort of event to be on the weekend that we've been telling him.
Okay.
Come
I say
go to
cancel it.
Let's see. Hang on. Hi, is this Dead End Outfitters? Yes. I have a youth group. I'd like to come out for a private event. Would that be at all possible?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
The date, what about the weekend of April 23rd through to 24th? Would that work for you?
No, actually, it wouldn't, because that is a game day.
So you have to do it on Sunday. It's a youth group.
What are you doing that weekend, Mark? Are you coming up for freedom, or do you have something else going on?
For freedom? For what weekend?
The April 23rd, 24th.
That I believe is Mini Milsim 3, where it's actually the first paid gig of for the battle bus.
That's Matt Boyles.
Yeah, it's let me just see. I'm just double checking the dates. Yeah, the weekend of April 24th is. Oh, I gotta change that on my. Whoops. I gotta fix that. Anyways, yeah, that's the first paid event. What is that? What when was that one again, Doug? For you?
That's Op Freedom at Black Ops Bristol.
Okay, that's not the third annual charity event, right?
No, that's June.
Yeah.
Something.
And that one I'm actually going to go up there for again because I think that was the week before Bad Blood, so I might be bringing the bus up or transporting up and then cutting across to do Bad Blood if Bad Blood still goes off. So, but yeah, I'll be for the Elkin event. I will be definitely going green. What color are you going, Kevin?
We'll be tan with Freddie, unless numbers are off and we have to switch green to help.
Because I'm going with Dark Horse, so it looks like we're going to be green for that.
Yeah.
Hey, and speaking of Mayhem Mill, we are working on a date for a fall Mayhem Mill 2 right
I thought he
now.
already announced it.
Well, we're that it turns out that's Labor Day weekend. So we're
September
backing
3rd,
up
September you're looking at? Okay.
and trying to figure out a better, maybe even October when it's cooler.
Yes.
South Carolina is insane humidity.
As like I
Like
told
Florida?
John, as long as it's not October 8th through the 10th, that's
What's
a
that?
Boulder Gap.
Oh well, we'll be at Fulda Gap. We run Spetsnaz.
Yeah, I got to talk to them to see about bringing a bus up for that one too.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, because the Bug could definitely navigate the rest of the field. The bus could be like that other big tank that only goes forward and backwards.
Exactly.
But can I be a stowaway on the bus? Mishka, I do not look forward to driving with you for hours at a time. I don't know what it is. So
You're not wrong.
I can't wait for Elkin because that's again Airsoft Jesus. Who's Airsoft Jesus? Is that Doug?
Yeah, they're referring to me. Who is
So,
Ashley,
He said very humbly, which is great.
Yeah, that's a nickname that gets thrown around. Although probably not for much longer.
I don't. How's those charity things going? So now that Doug's on here, let's talk a little bit about that too before we get another guest or two on. But let's
hey
talk
guys,
about,
I got to run. It was fun.
All right,
Yeah, take it easy. We'll see you.
I look forward to
Elkin.
Nope, bye.
So
you went out fast.
Freddie is shaving for sure. He met his goal on
the beard
campaign.
I was the first one to donate on that one, and I donated $100. I was like, I want to see that baby face. I want to see that chin.
When is he shaving it?
This has been a busy week at work. I haven't checked it since the beginning of the week, but the cleave the beard for me was at 400 at the beginning of the week, and to leave the beard is at a sad, lonely little $65. So we still got a couple weeks left. It's definitely looking bad for the beard, I should say. We are trending that direction, but it's still open for debate. If you, I've got the fundraiser up on my page. I think Mark has shared it at least once.
Yeah. So guys,
hashtag leave the beard, hashtag cleave the beard.
The only hashtag you guys have to worry about is hashtag cleave the beard. That's it. That's the only one.
No, it's not the only one. It's leave or cleave. The goal for both is set at $1,500, but the first one to $1,000 decides what happens to my facial hair. So, and right now it's set to close March 19th. I'll share it again either tonight or tomorrow. But all the money goes to Veterans for Airsoft. I've been playing with Freddie for like 4 years now, and we were actually buddies and playing together before he started DFA. And he's like, "Hey, I've got this idea," and I was like, "Well, hey man, whatever I can do to help you out." And so I've cooked food, I've prepped gear, and now I'm probably gonna shave my face. So
yeah, that's right.
How long have you had the beard for?
This time, May of 2014 was the last time I shaved it off. So I lost my dad to cancer in 2014, and he died in October, and he went through chemo in the spring. In May is when he started his chemo treatment. So I shaved my head and my beard in May of 2014, and I haven't been clean shaven since.
Yeah, that's also a bad year for us. Like my stepfather passed away the same time. Like the freaking memories are popping up. So, it's like he was in hospice for a while because he just didn't do the stuff. But I just want to point out Mishka's comment. That's actually a really good one. Have you talked to Airsoft Judas recently? I heard you guys had a falling out.
Ooh.
Ashley just bought a Hilo ticket for a VFA charity event. You're going to enjoy the Hilo flights. They're really fun, really awesome. Her husband will be on the Hilo flight. If Mishka can mow across acres of grass, you can trim the beard. Hey, guys, if you want to see the beard gone, just simply go to Facebook, search Cleave the Beard, and go ahead and donate. I'm just waiting for some.
So I think I might actually, if the votes come in soon enough, I think I'm going to do, if the votes come in soon enough and it's decided that it's going to go, probably not this week, but I was going to cut everything short and just have like this, and then shave the chin and have like, so my sideburns going into my mustache, you know?
You know, there are templates
And
on Amazon for that.
Yeah, and then for
Templates.
Stonebreaker, I was gonna go just the porn stash, cop stash, and then, and of course, all of this would be on like Facebook Live, like step by step. But I was gonna do it in stages just to have a little fun with it.
Yeah. So we obviously are supporting on that. I haven't donated yet because I have to wait for the tax return to come in.
Well,
So-
it's open till March
I know.
19th.
Don't worry. I'll be tossing in. How much I got to pay to lock off that beard right now, Mishka? I think he's like $550 short. Here, let me look it up. Cleave the beard. Yeah, I guess it's not. It's not showing, Doug. It's not coming up too easily, man. You probably need to make a couple of updates and all that so people can see where the charity, where the fundraiser.
Yeah, like I said, it's been a really busy week at work, and I haven't shared it again since the weekend. So
Yeah, Mishka, $600 is what you need to do. So go for it. You can do it.
it
The
doesn't
beard-
have to all be on you, man. Whatever you can and want to contribute, and like I said, it all goes to VFA.
But that was my suggestion, by the way. I said it like I was talking to Papa last stream. I was like, you guys need to, like, when you do this, you need to save like snippets of the beard and put them in baggies and sell them as souvenirs. You know, because that would work. And the bears must come off. The bears.
Damn it, man.
So yeah, I would literally like put them all in like little baggies, you know, and be like, want to buy some beard? It's magical Freddy beard. It's magical Dougie beard. And just start selling that stuff at the table. You'd be surprised at how many people will spend $5 for your stuff for your beard.
Yep. So the
Well,
last
one that still has a little bit of burger juice in it or something. And from like,
I started growing a beard when I was 19, and I'm 37, almost 38 now, and I've had it far more than I haven't. And the first time that I shaved it off, after that I was like 25, so it'd been like 6 years. And for the first 2 days, like, I startled myself in the morning in the mirror because you get so used to
$900.
seeing it, you know, and you're about half asleep, and you go into the bathroom, you're like, oh God, I wish I was better looking.
My wife installed a mirror where I least expected it, and I just got done because I'll grow my hair out every once in a while. Like I'll get a bug up my butt to go ahead and grow my hair long so I can shave it for Locks of Love or something like that, or one of the other wig companies. So I spent a year growing out.
Stuck again.
Or a year and a half growing out my hair, and then, you know, I'll go to the I'll go and cut it all off, and I'll get cropped down low. I mean, I go 2 all the way across, so I'm bald head, like real short. I was walking by, I was groggy, and there's a mirror next to, you know, I jump back and my hands come up, and I was like, oh, mother puss bucket. His beard died for our airsoft sins.
Lord.
I want a piece of Jesus. Oh,
Freddie Beard.
Well, he goes, I want the bears must come off. I knew he meant beards, but it was still funny.
Well, we did last year before COVID, like at the beginning of the year, we had an event, and we did my buddies were raising money for their field, and just as a gag, we did a touch the beard raffle. We raised like $200 selling raffle tickets so people could touch my beard. Like, the winner got to touch my beard, and we sold, I don't know, it was like $100 or $200 worth of $1 raffle tickets, so you could touch my beard.
I did a raffle like that once, but Then I spent a weekend in jail. It's a whole another story.
Well, Freddie got, we all got pies for Freddie.
Oh man, that was still some of the funniest things. It's still funny how much trouble Yordi got into.
You already got in trouble?
Yeah, for pieing Sarah.
Oh, snap. Oh.
Not even kidding. He got so much trouble for that pie to his face, or his pie to her face. It wasn't even funny. But it was so. I'm so glad that Freddie turned around and goes, "These are my only pair of pants," because I was so gonna nail one right on his crotch, and I was like, never mind. Oh god, the comment section's on fire tonight.
I know.
So, yeah, I really can't wait to see you crazy freaks again over at Stonebreaker, man. Sal will be here in about 15.
Oh, it's going to be a good time. It always is.
Yep.
Stonebreaker is just one of those events, man. It's got, I don't know, it's just got a great energy about it. It's kind of their flagship event, I guess, for the year, and it's just a really good time. Just like Overwatch, it's just, there's something about it that, and I think it's because it's kind of one of the first big events of the year, being in March and spring's coming in. Same thing with Overwatch, it's at the end or the beginning of the year. It's winter everywhere else. You go to South Florida and you're just glad to be warm and play airsoft. At a time of year when airsoft's kind of slow and you get this big event. So there's certain events like that are just kind of their own animal, and Stonebreaker's one of them.
Personally, I'm so looking forward to the cool weather of playing up there, because it's probably going to be like 60, 65 degrees maybe. So I'm really looking forward. Yes.
I just think it's funny that you call 65 degrees cold weather.
I say cool.
Dude, Florida right now, we're hitting 80 something yesterday.
Today was 85 down here.
Yeah.
My pool temperature.
It was not 85 today.
Down here it was.
He's in South Florida. Remember, he's south of the border, even though he's north.
It might have hit 50 here today.
No, it's I was out working on the chicken coop and yelling at Amazon all day. So because evidently Amazon blames me because their ordering system says that the item still was supposed to be delivered December 4th. However, it was supposedly delivered. I don't see it anywhere, and it's my fault. So Stonebreaker's awesome. Tan for the win.
Hey, Mark, real quick, I actually got to get back to work, but
that's fine, brother.
I will share those. Leave the beard, cleave the beard. Mark, if you would, when I get them up, if you could share them again, that'd be great.
Yes, sir.
If you do or do not want to see what's under all of this lusciousness, please donate. And again, everything goes to Veterans for Airsoft. So have a good night, guys.
Take care, Doug.
Take it easy, bud.
The sharing aspect on Facebook really sucks. I mean, almost every other place that you go to, you can share it just by copying a freaking link, because that's what I want to do. Is I just want to save link address. There we go. The address. Oh, copy. This is the one for.
Oh, good Lord! What is?
Oh, it's a link, but it went into all three instead of just one.
Did you see what Tats just wrote?
Yeah, damn straight it was in the 20s. No way in hell was I camping. I had a nice little hotel just 20 minutes away. I slept in a nice warm room with a pretty decent bed. Didn't have to worry about noises for people flatulating and stuff or fapping all night long.
Yeah, send me that hotel link when you.
Oh,
you stayed at a different place for Elkin though. For Firestorm.
Yeah, I haven't even looked for. I gotta look that up right.
I mean, I just got permission. I literally just got permission yesterday from the boss to take both Stonebreaker and Elkin off. So
yeah, I can say right now, Steve, there's not a chance in hell that he's going to be able to keep up with me. that Wiener's gonna be able to keep up with me.
I'm not even going to say yes to that. I won't even take a challenge for that.
But the good news is that I'm going to.
God bless you.
Thank you, but that was a cough. The second of one.
COVID.
Yeah.
COVID. Yep. You know what's? I was going to. No, I don't want to discuss that here. COVID shit.
This is the only forum for that, whatever that is.
Well, I'm trying to get my mom in to get her freaking shot, get vaccinated, stuff like that, and you still can't get them, right away through either Publix or the county or the health department. And now they open it up to everybody else.
Oh, is it finally open up to everybody else? Good.
Everybody else being people under 65 who have pre-existing conditions, all the nurses and school teachers and.
Yeah, so let's talk about that a little bit, and let me tell you about my frustration of getting my mother and my grandmother down there, right?
Yeah.
So, I go through the system and I sign up online. I'm like, hey, I need to get this because my son is immunocompromised. They can't, and the vaccine is not approved for children under 16 yet. So my son can't even get it. So the way to protect him is for my wife and I to get our vaccines. Cool. Put it in there, and it says if you're immunocompromised, put a thing in. So I put it all in there. They called me up. I'm at my mom's house. My mom just recently got injured. She had an accident, literally broke her hip, or broke her back. She broke like her back way down low, had a fracture or whatever. So I'm helping her out, and then they're like, "Oh no, this is only for people 65 and over, or a frontline medical worker." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, my mom's an RN. Does she qualify? Yes. Cool. Is she an active RN? Yeah, she's got her active license. She's an RN. All right. Yeah. Can I also set up an appointment for my grandmother? I could take care of both of them at the same time in one car going down to the mobile drive-through spot. Cool. We go down. We get the appointment, which they schedule 2 days later. So drive them down, go to get their shots. We get through the first checkpoint, no problem, no issues. Here's my mom's RN card. Here's their names. They've already been registered. Here's my grandmother. She's 85. My mom's, by the way, is 62. So she's not that far from the 65 and older. But she also has she has some immuno issues as well. So, all right, cool. We're good to go. Get to the second checkpoint, and we hit Napoleon. This jackass wanted the doctor
Greg was there?
Huh?
Greg was there?
Not me.
He's not a Napoleon. So this guy starts arguing with my mother about. She goes, "Are you working right now?" Well, my mother just had an accident, so no, she's on a small medical leave, but she'll be going back to work. Frontline medical staff only. Okay, she is one. You could literally see her arms bruised to all hell. The guy starts arguing. Goes, "Well, I need to verify with the doctor." I was like, "The office doesn't open until 9:30. It's 8. It's my mom's appointment is 8:15. We're here at 8:15." And he's sitting there arguing back and forth. Finally, he goes, "Well, screw you. You're only going to get one." And that's what he said. He goes, "Screw you." He goes, "You're only going to get one for your grandmother that's 85." And they threw the thing in the front. We pulled up to the next checkpoint, and the lady could tell. She goes, "You okay?" I was like, "No, Mr. Napoleon back there won't let my mother get her shot. She's a nurse." And she goes, "Did she already register?" I was like, "Yes, she's registered. So is my grandmother." And I gave my mom's information over, and she's like, "Don't worry about it here," and gave it up. And then we got to the final spot where the nurse goes, and the nurse comes over. She's an RN. She goes, "Are you a frontline medical worker?" And my mom goes, "Yeah, I'm an RN here." She goes, "Oh, us RNs stick together. Don't worry about it. Here's your shot," and jabs her and goes. But this little Napoleon made it like so much worse because of gatekeeping on a frontline medical worker. And I said, "So let me get this straight. Not all nurses get the vaccine? No. So what if they're retired? What if they're not working right now?" I was like, "Okay, what if they go to volunteer, or if they want to get back to work and they can't get a vaccine for 2 weeks because of somebody like you stopping that from happening when nurses are quitting en masse?" So, yeah.
Is there a counterpoint to that at all?
I don't know, but Wiener's not talking. Oh, he's on the phone. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, is there a...
Well, the problem that comes up with this whole vaccine rollout, right, is our lovely state of Florida, our governor's
He has a different vision.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I'm teaching you how to be diplomatic.
Yeah, I'll let you go with that because I'm trying not to be political on this page. But when it comes to the COVID vaccine, it's really hard because what should have rolled out immediately for this was everybody that had an underlying health condition that should have been qualified for it, plus the older communities and everything else. So that way there was a bigger, so we don't have these frustrations, right? And then on top of that, when I was arguing with the guy, I said, well, I talked to the lady on the phone. I said, my mother's an RN. She did not tell me to do it. He goes, well, that's just some woman up in Tallahassee. I was like, no, it was a Broward County number. And the person said they were in Broward County, and I'm at a Broward County testing site. So you're wrong. He goes, no, you're wrong. And I pulled up the number. I was like, no, you're wrong. I was like, the lady even said she's in Fort Lauderdale. So don't give me that nonsense. I was I was really clear on what was needed, so that way my mother could get her shot that she needed, especially since I was not allowed to get one because I'm not 65 years old. Period. That's it. Or I'm a frontline medical worker. I was like, well, I'm the primary caregiver to a disabled child. Doesn't care. They don't care.
Did they do the companion shot though? They wouldn't do that here. I know they talked about it big time up in Boston when I was up there. They were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So if you took your mother to go get the shot, you got the shot also.
Because that's a common sense thing, Wiener.
Yep. Oh, so we're in Florida.
Thank you. That's what's going. That's the problem that's going on here. The entire vaccine rollout, which is obvious. We're not going into politics. We're not turning this to a politics thread. And I'm going to go back to my hotel search now.
Is that for Elkin?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, when you find your hotel.
Well, the only one I found that's anywhere near a good price in Elkin is $56 a night at the Elkin Inn. The
Elkin Inn. Is that the one you got to bring your weapon to?
The Elkin? I don't know. Is it?
I don't know. I haven't looked.
Actually,
we have the address of the mill, wherever that's going to be at.
I have no idea. That's.
Is there a sharps container in every room? That's how you know.
Is there a what?
A sharps container.
Sharps container. I couldn't tell what you said.
Yeah. With enough that you were immune to COVID. No, we have not talked about Stonebreaker yet, Chris. We are working on it. He's going to walk out. The bus is going to be on blocks. The bus is not going to Elkin, sir. That's not an AO for that. Well, looking at it, it's got a 7.1 rating on Hotels.com guest reviews.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, what's the? Never mind.
What's the what?
What's the audience for those reviews? Are they locals to Elkin?
Oh, it's a 2-story hotel on the side of the road. So.
Yeah.
Elkin, North Carolina. There's two. They only have 2 hotels there. Uh-oh. No, she accidentally. They only have 2 properties there in Elkin. Yeah, Elkin, North Carolina. It's North Carolina. Yeah, it is North Carolina.
Yeah.
And what's the dates of the event? The 15th through the 19th. Okay.
16th, yeah.
Because I'll check out on the 19th. Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and get my pay app property. I'll do that.
Well, most of Booking.com does. I got screwed this last trip I went on. Where'd I go? When I went to St. Louis with Kim, I freaking got rerouted from Booking.com to some freaking other booking agency. It cost me $100 more for the night for those 4 nights we were there. Elkin Hotel. It's called the Elkin Motel. Oh, no, 4 nights. Yeah, Elkin Motel.
Elk Inn.
Yeah, Elkin Motel for 4 nights, $228.
Check out the Hampton Jonesville.
My reservation's confirmed. I got my room. That's all I got.
You at the Elkin?
Yeah, I'm at the Elkin. I got a key.
Is that close enough to the AO, or it doesn't make a difference?
To me, it doesn't make a difference. In Elkin,
yeah, the Jonesville, Hampton, and Elkin is $448 for 4 nights. That's got 9.7 rating.
Knowing me and my guys, knowing my guys and all that stuff, I mean, we're only going there to sleep.
Yep.
Yeah, the Quality Inn, which is in Jonesville, North Carolina, which is about
Ooh, there's budget in it. It was 5.1 fare for $200 for 4 nights. It's 2,350 feet from Elkin, Jonesville.
Oh,
But it's a 5.1 instead of a 7. So for $28 more, might as well take the 7.
yeah, no kidding, right?
Yep.
Hampton, Jonesville, Elkin are the 3 places. All the reviewers are crackheads. Stay
Free
away.
cancellation. Okay, that's good. I need that.
Yeah, same here. I got free cancellation too.
And I took Thursday the 15th. So if you get there Thursday by Thursday night, yep. Because we'll go in. We'll drive up. Leave early Thursday morning. I got the time off, so I'm just going to take it.
Yeah, Thursday I'm going to determine what time I'm going to leave. It depends on how many guys are going with me.
Yeah.
So, because I'm going to be, because what I'd love to do is leave like around 10 o'clock, because then I bypass all traffic.
Because I think Steve, where the hell's Steve? Steve, you still on?
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, he's still there. What was the hotel you're staying in? He says stay away from the roach motels. What's the hotel you're staying in on that Sunday night?
Bye-bye. Papa.
Did we lose you? Or did you hit the wrong button too?
I don't know. He was not at his desk when he went bye-bye. So
Oh, okay.
I have no idea what he was doing.
Yeah, because I can always cancel this too. Steve.
Give me a second.
Tats.
Let me miss some 3.
Because he said there was a certain hotel that actually the rooms don't look that bad. Wonder how old these pictures are though. Then there's a Pizza Hut right up the road there.
Hut.
No, nothing. Two-story entrance to the rooms from the outside.
He fell.
Hey,
He can't get up.
He fell and can't get up. That's good. Hampton, Jonesville. Oh, so you're staying at that Hampton for one night.
That's $93 a night.
Yep. $448 for 4 nights if I were to stay there. It's 9.4, so it's up above. I should do one night there. No, I can't do that.
That's funny because the Anthem Inns has a 6.6 rating on Hotel.com.
Which one does?
Hampton Inn.
Huh, interesting.
Hamilton
Well, they
Inn.
do a different rating, though. They do a different rating system.
Who just joined? Oh, look who it is. It's about time you get on.
Hey, sorry about that, guys. Army life.
No, that's all right, man. As soon as you mentioned that you're going to be late, I was like, all right, we're pushing back anyway. It was a perfect storm of things to happen to push back the stream a little bit. And, now we got a lot more people participating and everything else. So, so for those of you who don't know, here's Z Monster from TCA. He's here to talk a little bit about Stonebreaker and all the cool stuff you guys have going on for that. So as we go to kick off the discussions on Stonebreaker, we're just waiting to find out about Elkin here to see what hotels we're going to be staying at. But that's irrelevant to what we're going to talk about, sir. So how many Hilo flights do you have left to sell?
We probably got, I want to say 10 on Western and about 7 on Eastern. So the good news is Paul from Airborne Tactical Solutions is bringing the Little Bird. He's got a 500 and a 530. He's bringing the bigger. Anyways, it's a more powerful Little Bird than what he normally brought. Wiener probably knows more, just about as much as I do about the birds from Doomsday. So he's bringing the more powerful bird. The Eurocopter would have been cool, but he's got some other stuff going on, so he's going to bring a Little Bird, which we're happy about. I know the customers are happy about because the Eurocopter is cool, but it just doesn't look, it doesn't look military enough. Thank you. So what that did was we reallocated seats because you can only carry 4. You can't carry a belly man, so we had to shuffle some tickets around. So we're excited to have the Little Bird. The ground mission is legit. It's literally a daytime tier 1, as Yankee from Airsoft Junkies termed it. So
nice. So it's a much different experience when you guys land. Are you guys still using that the range area for that?
Nope. It'll be the LZ is down south, and then there's a lane. We posted the graphic, the Warno. Can I bring the pizza truck to TCA? The pizza truck. Are you talking about a gun truck?
That was Mishka Fox. You had that little pizza truck he was running around in at.
No.
That was like the battle bug the first time you saw it.
Yeah. So what's funny though is Eastern is that's a great transition. Thanks, Mishka. We've gone back to our original vehicle rules. So as a truck is a truck is a truck. So one mounted gun, one security shooter. If it can carry troops, great. If it can't carry troops, no worries. So there's no more transport gun truck. So we're just going to go to one vehicle type. I know you're so like Joker's like, yeah.
That was like the first time we brought a vehicle out and we got in so much trouble, and it's because we were giving misinformation on the field. And I was like, look, I'm not here to piss anybody off. I want to fall within the rules, and I'm getting yelled at. And I was like, what the hell, guys?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, dude, I mean, player feedback's everything. So it was a matter of let's keep it simple. And
so unless you're the mounted gun or the security gunner, if you're on a truck, you should not be shooting out.
Yeah, right. So you've got the mounted gun, and like Sal, what's a mounted gun? A mounted weapon system. You can bungee cord a 240 up there. You can you can have a shotgun rider shooter. The all riding on the truck can't shoot. The only thing that can kill the vehicle is anti-armor or a grenade within 10 feet. So keep it simple. It really opens up the field. I talked about the battle bus C-130. I owe a phone call to Craig White to explain that a little bit more. Everyone's excited about that because of what it can bring to the game. It's not a technical; it's a aircraft. So no one's carrying a Stinger.
Don't shoot my freaking bus there.
Yeah. So, but so that's the other half. It's like, okay, we thought about, we'll bring a Stinger, and I was like, guys, I think if we make it a asset to each side, it depends on how the sides use it, and so we'll do the tactical paper rock scissors, and then we'll figure out who gets it first. I didn't know how much you wanted to share, so I've been keeping my mouth shut about it, but I'm really excited about this. The guys that are going to come up that are going to be doing that are really excited about it. Actually, Saturday, we're having what we're calling the scrubbing grub. We're actually going to be scrubbing down the bus, prepare it for paint for Sunday. So we're going to be painting it black. Because we're probably not, it's going to be one of two ways. No matter what, that bus will be painted black by the time we go up there, whether it's rattle can, chalk paint, no matter what. Yeah, they have chalk paint. So it's like one of those things that we could paint it black and be just like, all right, we're done, hose this bad boy down. Because we're my neighbor down the street is the one that does the Rhino line for the vehicles and all that. So we're going to work with him, and he's going to show me how to get the first spray done. So the cool thing is we figured out how to remove all the windows on the side of the bus, so we can take the windows out, and it makes taping so much easier. Wow!
So we'll be able to get everything done. We already have the seats in. Three additional seats got put in. I got to finish putting in the handles and stuff like that for people to hold on to, plus the gun mounts. So we've been actively trying to get it going. The only thing I'm having difficulty locating is a 24-volt battery.
Wow.
Because the 24-volt battery shoots the propane gun.
Yeah. So since we've announced a few things here first ever, I'll continue with the trend. Tier 1 Friday night, the C-130 is going to do a parachute drop of troops. So you're painting it black, which I think is awesome, and then you're going to do some AC-130 work a little bit. Originally, we wanted Paul from the Airborne Tactical Solutions that offered, hey, I'll bring my nods, I'll fly for you guys at night. And we were like, Paul, you just got to pay for the fuel. And it was like, Paul, I think if you fly, we can't launch aerial flares, and that's a critical piece to to the tier 1. So it was like, hey man, that's okay. We've got C-130, and Paul's like, what? And I was like, no, I'm kidding. It's you know. And so
I can't wait for this.
One side will stand in the door. They'll get on the C-130. I'm going to put all of our airborne vets, all our staff that are airborne Army veterans. They're going to be leading that part of the tier 1. So you've got Kraut, you've got Spider, you've got Corey Snicks. So there's my 3 airborne dudes. They're going to load the battle bus up. They're going to bring a red light, a green light, and give the whole jump experience. And they're going to jump from the aircraft. Granted, we will figure out how to do that safely. And then
3 ways.
Yeah, not off the back gate. It'll be off the front door. It'll be a side exit, not a tailgate exit.
Yeah. So to give some ideas for people what to do with this. So when we are having these conversations through chat, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hold harmless. I'm gonna have to up my insurance. How do you want them to deploy? It's like, look, everything's within the possibilities of getting stuff done as long as coverage is there, right? And I was like, all right, well, we can get it done. Then it's like, no, we are definitely stopping the vehicle. I was like, oh, thank God.
You should drive by and there's a set of tumbling pads. Everybody jumps out the door and rolls.
Well, I'd gone to an event where they had the static line. You're hooked up, and then you were jumping off the back of a U-Haul, and it was fun. But it was like, hey, the vehicle's moving. Oh shit!
There's another thing that we could also do too. Is like we figured out how to drive the bus with the lift down but up.
Down but up.
Down, so it's like right at the level of the floor down, so you can actually stand on it. We figured out how to. It was like Jordy and I, Nick and I when we were messing with the bus, we were trying to figure out how to disable some of the safety features because this is not obviously transporting people. The safety features of the long lines annoyances, like the buzzer on the back when you open it up, so it doesn't go. You just take that boy out. We figured out how to make the bus move while the lift gate's while the lift is still down. So that way you can stand up there and shoot from it, or.
So Carl was asking the question: if you had a sound system on the bus.
We're trying to get it working. We don't know why the PA. There is a radio that's connected to an outside PA, but we do not have a way to get the stupid microphone to work yet. It's for some reason it's not cooperating. So
I'll tell him to bring a Bluetooth speaker because he wants to play the C-130 sounds in the inside of the aircraft.
Hey, Mark, I got 2 Bluetooth speakers that we can use for it. I've heard somebody use the one Overwatch. So.
I love how Weeder's like, I'm on the bus for the.
I'm on the bus. I'm sorry. I'm working for Third Coast wherever they put me. But I will give you the speakers to use. I'll make sure.
Maybe you can ride on the C-130. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Yeah. So all the airborne guys, we were talking about let's design the tier 1. So the tier 1 committee started putting it all together, and they were like, "Sal, what do you think?" And I was like, and it was funny because Van Halen Panama was playing. I was like, Panama, jumping into Panama. Everybody's like, "You're fucking crazy." I was like, "No, they'll do a static line airborne operation." Everybody's like,
"We're here to oblige. We're here to oblige." And so what I still do is I got to put the line up so that way people can hook up. Just they're not going to be able to really yank on that thing because there's only 2 real spots that you can put it onto, and one of them is not that strong. So, but we're really excited. We're really excited to do this, and like one of the things I was talking with Z about is one of the reasons why I want to talk to him was like, look, we'll do whatever you need. But as when it comes down to different showing off who's on the C-130 crew, I was like, all right, so for some other events, we wore Hawaiian shirts. So that way it's like admin shirts in a sense. Don't shoot us. And he's like, no.
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 So what we're doing.
We're talking about putting you guys in like, hey, what if we tell them to wear gray and they look like they're wearing flight suits? I was like, how about we just tell them to bring the 2 tops? When you're flying for Western, you're wearing a tan top, and if you're flying for Eastern, you're wearing a green top, and then you're flying a flag.
Yeah, so what I did was to make because we're bringing 10 guys because we are going to bring the battle bug up. and the gun truck if it's ready. The gun truck's got to go back to get the thing going. So what we figured on was no matter what side we're on, that technical would be on that side. So if it's the battle bug, it's on the green side. If it's the tan, it's tan one is on the tan side. And once we're on that side, we can send guys out on that. So that way, if we need to switch up our crew on the bus, we can quickly switch them out, and then they're in their proper uniform tops, their proper uniform colors. So
I would tell you, Mark, even if the vehicle's tan, bring a green flag for it. Green is short 3 vehicles.
I'll bring both. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah, we
can.
We could do that because I also have the Eastern things, which I got to go get the Western. I need you to send me the logos for the Western side, Western and Eastern, so I can go get the magnets printed up. Because we're going to throw them on the bus and on the bug in the truck to make sure people know what side it's on, so we don't have to.
It's great. I'll send it to you.
Yeah. So we're like the guys are stoked about it. We're super excited. We cannot wait to be out there to do this and show off a little bit what we can do too.
Yeah. So this will be a great opportunity for one to add an asset to the field that the field's never had. So you can load players up, get them out there, and drop them off where they, it's like, hey, I will try to drop you off in an area where there's no contact, but if there is contact, you can put some hate out on the C-130. So it'll be like, oh shit, get away from the bus. And there's no way to kill it. It's an aircraft, and no one has anti-aircraft. So, and we're going to brief that over and over again. I'm sure it'll be like, well, we can't kill that thing. It's an aircraft, dudes. It would be, 800 feet in the air. Anyways.
The question I have about that is that on that bus also, the only people allowed to shoot on it are the dedicated guns, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
because that was one of the funniest things on Overwatch 6, looking out my rearview mirrors and seeing 25 guns.
So what did that move? Raw deal while all the guns popped up out of the bus? Anyways.
It's hilarious. So yeah, that was like one of the key things that we're going over. So I mean, for us, we can't wait to show off what the bus can do. I'm so glad that Doomsday gave us the opportunity to run it on Saturday or Sunday, because that really gave us the proof of concept that this could work. And it's surprisingly nimble for such a big vehicle. So if like I was telling a lot of people, if you could drive a U-Haul truck on a field and it fits like a U-Haul box truck, the bus will fit too. Similar to
there was a particular Bone Strike Tier 1 feedback that was, what do you guys want to see more of? And they one of the players was like, we want to see this, and the staff all looked at each other like, yes, you will. And so I can't give it away because I don't want to give it up yet because it would really ruin it. Yes, they're going to be fighting in the jock building because what would be the point of doing parts of the Tier 1 and not go inside the reactor building?
Nice.
And so the Tier 1 we're really excited about. And then main game, we had to go back and redesign the field. And so we'll post that map up tonight. And so players can see it. I think players are going to find out that Stonebreaker is different from Iron Fury. So the guys who've only been Iron Fury, they were like, oh man, I don't know if I want to do this again. And there was a village, there were civilians. Iron Fury was not meant to happen in GTI. First off, Iron Fury was meant to happen somewhere else. And when that AO did not become available, we were like, okay, let's do it at GTI because GTI has a lot of space. And so guys who did a first-time TCA event and it being Iron Fury, it kind of like, some people were like, this is cool. And some people were like, eh. And then all the old school Third Coast guys, Rob, Iron Fury was different. And it wasn't the same as Series Viking 2. It definitely wasn't the same as Stonebreaker. And so a lot of our older customers were like, please tell me you're not changing your format. I was like, no, guys, Iron Fury is that is a particular flavor. Stonebreaker, man, it's what's in a name? Breaking the stone, man.
personally, I had fun at both events. I mean, my old thing is like if I like as somebody that tries to do customer service and everything else at Iron Fury, when we addressed a few things, it was just from what the comments and stuff were going around. When you came over and yelled at me, I was like,
Oh.
but I was only giving positive feedback.
But so I'm glad you brought that up, Joker, because a lot of people go over and tell Sam things, and Sam takes it. Sam's like, "Oh, Sal, hey, let me tell you," and I'm like, "Sam, they're coming to you because I don't know what the deal is, but they'll go to you and they'll tell you something, and then when they come over to me and we're like, all right, let's explore this for a second. I'm military. I maneuver 700 people. I'm trying to design scenarios that bring bits and pieces of that from my world to their world. And so some people love playing checkers. But I will tell you that true milsim is chess. And so think about the Friday night at Iron Fury. I was like, all right, guys, it's Freddie. I'm going to grab the override real quick. I'm going to maneuver this fight because Green just couldn't get into the buildings.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of things that Green was doing, typical airsoft, and I say it's so derogatory, but some people get locked. Some people are so hardcore milsim, and then they get on the field and they become an airsofter. And I'm like, guys, when you quit playing airsoft and play real life, this team was completely kitted out. They couldn't get to the building. I was like, come with me, and I will get you to the buildings. And I got them really close, and then what did they do? No, we have to look cool. We have to get in formation. We have to stack up. I'm like, guys, the real deal, we go. And if we're all running in a line, we're moving. And so that was during the day. And so at night, I was like, all right, Mark, as I threw the Gatorade bottle at you, I'm sorry. And
I put my head around. It's like, I was just asking about another spawn point because I only knew it was one.
I know. You were like, there's more than one spawn point? I was like, I'd be Freddy's later, like, hey, did I screw up? I'm like, no, man, there's some people that weren't looking at the map, or didn't know that there was another spawn point. I was like, I got this. We're going to do a vehicle infill over here, and we're going to do a feint. That's going to be our feint. We're going to do a mass dismount push. And you guys dominated Saturday night.
Yeah. There was a couple of things that really affected, like me getting off the vehicles and controlling certain aspects. And I'm not trying to say, you shut the hell up, Wiener. You know what? I'm just going to preemptively mute you right now.
Me? Okay, well, I'll say it.
There was two things that I did. Like our vehicles, my vehicles, the two that I had there, were not being properly used because I was not on the field to properly direct them. You have two new drivers that haven't really done a lot of that technical driving and all that because there is an art to it. You have to feel and understand how the vehicle is going to move and what you have to do at that particular location that's different from some other locations to make sure that you're using it effectively. It was 2 hours I was standing at the landing that I was on helo flights. So I just made a decision. It's like, I've had my fun on helo missions. I'll help you sell helo missions, not a problem, but my feet are staying on the ground. So once I got into that vehicle Saturday night, I was like, all right, let's go up there. We did our part. We did that. And me and Yordi said, all right, let's go. Battery One and I, we decided to do the side entrance. And Green was stacking up in the stupidest ways. And I could say that with full effect because we came up, we took the one that was at, I guess it was Mary, the one that was closest to the gate on the very far end down.
Yes.
Yeah, so that one wasn't even touched. We moved that to ours. We then went upstairs, and Green's fighting over the pipe yard. Nobody's touching the objective. And I see the admins just staring at the objective. I walked over. I was like, slide. Oh, you scored that. And then I walked right past the windows, and they go, what are you doing? Watch out. And I was like, I only saw like two tracers shooting out of there. So I just put ones right through the holes they're shooting. I walked over, slided. I walked around the backside, came up. Just me. Everybody else is doing this tactical move real slow on the building. Here I am just power walking past them. And the same thing happened when the Humvee came for us when we went around the backside of the reactor building. Yeah. They're all stacked up in formation. Here's me walking across the middle of the field to take one dude out behind that little white building.
So trying to explain to folks, the real deal, you generally don't sit and stack. If you're going to go into a building, one, you neutralize the building as much as possible. Meat tenderizing, as some of us like to call it. And then you go in the building if you have to. And when you do, you hit that fucker fast.
Yeah.
So, and I got it. Some people hesitate at the door, and it's like, no, guys, I gotta go. And the far extreme of that is what we were seeing at Bone Strike, where dudes are just running down the hallway, and they're getting hit with like 50 BBs. And it's like, and they're shooting one or two guys. I'm like, would you do that in real life? No, then don't do it in there. Don't do it in Milsing. Well, it's just BBs. Okay, until you get the tip of your penis shot off, or you get an earlobe shot off, or you get a fingernail shot off, then they'll teach you to stop being so bullish.
Not me, man. That's why I got gloves, mask. The only thing I have to worry about is getting.
Yeah, but you call your hits, so.
Yeah, but you call your hit. Yeah, thank you, Wiener. So we're seeing a trend now in airsoft where guys are playing speed soft. I'm like, if you're gonna do that shit, go back to paintball. I'm sorry, but it's not MOSIM. You got to put yourself in the moment, and I think that's the part that irritates us the most. Along with when you're hit, you're supposed to lay down. We're going to violently enforce that rule. This weekend.
I like that, and I hate it at the same time. I don't like being on the ground. I don't
like being on the ground. That's because you have to get back up.
Exactly.
Get back up. But on Sundays, nobody minds. Oh, I'm hit. Oh, yeah. You go down. And so, I mean, it's something that players have to do because it adds to the effect. This past weekend at Bone Strike, a bunch of dudes went after Betty, which was in the courtyard of that hospital. And you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When you see 15 to 20 Muldoons laying out in the grass in the courtyard, you're like, I don't want to go out there. Hey, come on, we got to get Betty. No, bro, I'm not going out there.
I would.
Oh, yeah. And then you got that one dude like, let's go. And they get out there and you're like, it's like that scene from Hercules, the movie Rock, where what's his name? Ian McShane is standing there with the arrows. Yeah. And like nothing touches him. And everybody else is like, I don't get it. Everybody else is dead around you. It's like, I don't know. But
it's, the way I look at it when it comes down to it, it's like you can be tactical. I call it speed sim or mill speed. Either way, it works. Because I mean, if you move fast and hard, the mentality that I have, which we were talking about this before you came on, where at Mayhem, they keep calling me Lone Wolf, but I don't stop to take a tactical place. If we have an objective and my objective's on the other side, if my objective's 1,000 feet away, I'm not stopping at 500 feet if I don't see targets. Right? If I see a group of targets in front of me, then I'll stop to engage. Right. Unless my target's time sensitive, and that group I know I'm gonna get tied down with, and I can just bypass them because I'm going.
So classic examples of that. Going back to Overwatch 6, I felt bad because the plan worked, and it worked very well. And when the guys moved, they moved. And we're talking about players that we've never ran with. We don't know all those guys, and but it was like, hey, it's time to move out, and everybody moved out. And then it's sad that you never got to see Wiener, but we did about 5 online assaults, pressuring his respawn. And even though there was no objective up there, it was just like, all right, let's punch him in the face a little bit. Let's jab a little bit, and we did 5 online assaults. And it's like everybody's like, this shit really works. And we're like, yes.
Look what happened Sunday too. Like Sunday when I got there, Green was very demoralized. They didn't want to listen. They were keeping their heads down. So I started yelling. I said, "Look, I'll get you a victory. We'll push their teeth in. We're going to keep forcing them off of our spawn area, and we're going to start hitting where it counts." So I started dropping them not in front. I don't like dropping people right in front of somebody's CP. I just think it's a jerk move. But I dropped them in that building before your CP and let you guys fight it out, And I told the guys, do not shoot into their CP because I thought that was a jerk move on both sides. Like when Ben Moreno came driving through and lit up our CP with the
Watts.
Watts. Yeah, not Moreno. That's right. Ben Moreno. Ben Watts came through and did that. It didn't. It's like then they started realizing, oh crap, we can push them off. I was like, yeah, the only thing you have to do is just push. Don't be scared to lose one of your millions of lives you have in this event. You're down 5 minutes at the most?
Yeah.
Maybe 10 minutes to get walk, depending on how far away you are, to walk back to get back into the fight. And
so, I'm glad you brought that up because there is a drawback with the new field setup for Stonebreaker. So originally we were going to start in the wood line on the west, and you were going to advance towards the town, and then that was going to be phase 1. And then phase 2, you guys started off the admin side of the field, the east side. So right after lunch, when you're, man, I really wish I hadn't eaten from the Roach Coach or the Gut Truck. Now I got to go up a hill. So we went back and GT. The backstory is GTI came back in and said, "Hey, we have some special customers coming. We got to prep the hexafluoride building for their training, and we're going to do some storage from other stuff over here. So these two areas are off play." And I was like, "Oh crap! Okay, well I get it. They pay a hell of a lot more than we do to train there. So, yep, got it. You're going to have some special guys from the U.S. Navy train over here and over here. These two areas are off limits. Got it. Okay, back to the drawing board." And it wasn't too hard. It was just a matter of taking those Western start points and putting them over by the admin side on the east side. So on 3, 2, 1, go, you're going up the hill right into the fucking fight, right up into the jock, which is what players expect out of Stonebreaker.
Yeah.
But the guys who play Iron Fury, they're going to be like, "Where are the villagers? Where's that?" No, fuck that shit. There's no villagers here. There will be something new and exciting on Sunday. Each side is going to have to do a frago that's going to be interesting. But each side's going to get a turn at it. So hopefully we'll see one side or the other pull it off.
Nice. I really do appreciate companies like TCA trying to do something that brings a little bit more flavor, and understand too that this is also supposed to be fun in a game and not just work.
Right.
Obviously you got to put your work in and everything else. So I really do like the fact that, what you guys are doing, and I'm not just saying it because, you're allowing the bus to be there to do the awesome stuff that we're doing, but just a thing there. But you did hear about the bad news about Overwatch 7, right?
No.
You're losing me, the bus, and the bug to green.
On Overwatch 7?
Sure. Stack. You can. You know what? I'll go play on green. All right.
Papa is going to be the CEO of Green.
I know. I'm kidding.
Really?
Yeah. So he's going to be CEO. And
wait, have we announced we're having Overwatch 7 already?
Well,
I hear all these plans going on. I'm like, wait a minute.
Shit, man. I got to put my fucking train schedule.
It hasn't been confirmed or denied that there is an actual Overwatch 7, but it definitely has not been denied.
Correct.
Yeah.
Definitely has not been.
We don't have a date yet.
Yes. Yep. It has not been denied.
When it happens, we were asked by Papa if we could switch sides and all that, and I said, sure. I like going up against the challenge. I want to go up against the Sea Monster.
Yeah, I would tell you that because really it's the players that make or break the game.
Yep.
Now, Papa, you play chess. I play chess. Let's do it, man. We'll have fun doing it.
You've heard it here.
I feel like I'm clubbing a baby seal.
I think honestly, I don't want to sit around and be an armchair quarterback and say anything about AJ or anything like that. If I'm going to have a comment about it, I'm going to live it first. If I get in there and we get stomped, then we get stomped and I failed or whatever it is.
But I think, Papa, you pull some weight with the community, and that's what's required.
Yeah.
Some guys listen to me because I do it for a living, right?
Yeah.
No, you're just scary and you yell at us.
Oh God! Come on, Wiener. Do I yell at anybody?
It's just the straight face and the tone and the look. It's the look.
All right, God says otherwise.
Dude, I'm with you guys.
Yeah, so Wiener just watches me work and goes, "Wow, that might work."
That's fucking awesome. That might work. That's fucking awesome.
I'm like, we'll see if this works. Fuck it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not writing letters home to anybody.
What I'm really truly hoping for out of this is at the end of the day, at Index on Sunday, both sides don't even give a shit about who won. They're like, that was awesome.
Yes.
That's, to me, that means everybody was engaged.
Yes.
Green was not engaged. Not even 50%.
Well, for some really good players to leave Saturday, I hate to regress and talk about it, but it's important because it makes sense for the next event.
They
really good players
on Sunday
they could have used them on Sunday. Doc, hey, dude, don't take off, come back, and I don't know if I think he had some stuff going on Sunday, but it caused a severe loss of very good shooters on Sunday. Contenders, man, guys that actually executed a good task and purpose if given.
Yep.
Winner, that AO can do so much more. I was joking around. I think I was talking to Sam, because Sam was like, well, how would you do it? And I was like, I would spawn outside the prison. I would spawn outside that compound. Make that compound a place to fight, but have us start outside it.
Both sides, yep.
That's one of the things I thought too, that if each side was starting on the far end, you force in and then set up an FOB on the inside of that thing. That's the way that
we did do that one of them we did. So at each corner.
We did diagonal corners in there.
Yeah, diagonal corners. We did that.
Then people bitched about not having any shade. I was like, you don't need shade. You should be fighting.
So what? So the guys can't watch videos because it's too bright on their screen. I
don't know.
It was also one of the hottest ones too. It wasn't one of the. Was it one of the middle of the year ones too?
So Wiener, great transition.
There's a question.
They get their awesome challenge coins. I got one for the tier 1. We have them. We basically take a leprechaun, hold them upside down, and shake them until they fall out. We're like.
Shut up, Joker.
I can't reveal the source of the challenge coins, but they will be at Stonebreaker. So great. Wiener has hit a home run there because the transition point here. We were originally going to do Guardian Center in July because that was the weekend they gave it.
Oh yeah.
And then we were like, oh fuck, that's hot, and so Sam was talking to the staff out there, and they were like, yeah, let's talk about we have a concern about heat, and they were like, really? So do we. And they were like, well, what about September? And we're like, yeah, September's doable. But we can do that because we want to do that. And then we gave them our concept sketch, and they were like, approved. And we're like, all right, awesome. So guys who've gone to Iron Horse, it's like, well, don't make us parkway the fuck out there. No. We're going to have it on the side. You guys will see the concept sooner or later. And so you won't have to walk 45 minutes you'll be able to camp park on the side.
Yes.
So
we don't have.
I think I walked that whole damn AO by myself.
Yeah, you probably did.
It's Saturday night.
I logged, from what I could tell from where I was each time, I logged at least 22 hours walking that one day. Because I respawned 11 times, and I always was on the far side of the field. So
Old dog walk from one end of the field to the other just to get out to the parking lot.
I'm just talking about respawning, but yeah, no, I rode the COVID death traps each time. So
that's a good point there, Joker.
What's that?
That's a very good point. Going back to something that Sal was saying, in Milsim, you want to act as if you don't necessarily have more lives.
Right.
You're accustomed to playing as if you're going to respawn. You said you had to respawn how many times? So you walked for 2 hours. Yeah. That's a big difference between something like that.
Not 2 hours, 22 miles.
22 miles. Jesus.
So more than 2 hours.
So the big piece for us is we'll see it at Stonebreaker, and if it takes off, then you'll start seeing it more and more. We always talk about spawning and how do you get players back into the fight fast. They don't want to have to walk all the way back, but at the same time, you don't want to have a forward respawn setup because it puts a dome of don't play. You can't play there when you put a respawn forward. And so, yesterday as we were redesigning the game for Stonebreaker, Sam was like, well, put it here, put it here, put it here. And it was like, Sam, if we put it anywhere in the field, it actually creates a dome of you can't play there because you can't – CCPs cannot become objective. CCPs should not obstruct play. And so we always put it on the boundaries, because that opens up that full, maneuver box. And parallel starts, everybody knows that I love parallel starts because then you're looking at each other going, oh shit, it's a race, and it drives you into the field. And what we're going to be trying is a similar to Milsim West's water bottle, IV bottle respawn. And if players can get used to it at our events, maybe they'll graduate up and go to a nonstop 44-hour Milsim. But you can only fit so many of these IV bags in the bag, in the assault pack, which we'll provide to each company. Initially, it's going to go to Soft, it's going to go to Darby, it'll go to Commandos and Airborne because they start forward. And so, you've got 40 IV bags. That's only 40 respawns. Once you're out of IVs, you got to go to the main CCP. So that's going to give K-Force Airborne and Darby a little bit of staying power, as we call it, on the field until they run out of medical supplies.
They have to down a bottle of water.
Down it, crush it. I don't care, but it's the bottles are going to be tied off to the bag, so it's not like you toss bottles across to each other. That bag is when you're dead and you're going to respawn, you can walk back to where the bag is and open the bottle, drink it, pour it out. I don't give a shit, and then get back into the fight. But once that bag is empty and there's no more full water bottles there, yeah, I guess you're going to have to take a walk, man.
And to clarify that, at Guardian Center, I didn't mind the walking because I knew what I was doing. It's not like I just did. There was very rarely, like at the night game is when I had like 3 times I had to walk back because I was solo.
Right.
Yeah, I was lone wolfing it. But I love that AO. So the big question I have for you guys is: are there going to be vehicles there?
Yes. So if the C-130 concept pans out, then we're going to want it at Viking because Viking is a huge AO. I mean, we're going to use far more than AMS does.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to use the wood line down in the south. We're going to use a little bit of the wood line up north. We're going to use a lot of that AO because, man, that maneuver box. I mean, it's awesome.
I was so lucky that I decided that, because at the night game, I was 30 feet away from the CO and XO on the enemy side in their CP. And there was just something all of a sudden nagging in my ear. Nobody's attacked the CPs all day. I don't think this is legal. And I just backed out. But I wish I would have taken a picture saying I could have killed you.
You could have been so dead. So that's the other piece. It's September. We want to give players more playtime because that AO is very expensive, and so guys are like, "Well, just do like AMS, just 8 hours, man. Just say go and just 8 hours." And I'm like, "Okay, and how many of you fuckers go to the parking lot because you got to take a break?" So I'm better off programming breaks between the phases. So that way people can stop, drink, reload charge batteries because they have to go get air, take a shit. I don't know, but they need those breaks. And so,
do you guys have an idea of what the price point is going to be for the tickets?
Right now I know there's going to be early bird. It's going to be probably more than $200 just because of how much money that AO. I mean, that AO is expensive. Anybody that ever goes, we'll make it up in volume. I'm like, no, because they take a cut, and it's substantial. So there will be a early bird set number of tickets.
Do you know what the player cap's going to be yet? Sorry to rapid fire questions.
It'll be 650 players.
That price point, I know that there's going to be some people that are cringing at it. It's 48 hours of play, 2 days of play.
So what it'll be is there'll be the tier 1 on Friday, and then we're looking at 2.5 hours, 3 hours. So you're going to start the game at 11 like we always do, and instead of the Thunder Run ending at a certain time in the evening, it's going to go till midnight. So you'll have rounds going all the way till midnight.
Yes.
And what they can do for us is they can illuminate the battlefield for us. So, I don't have nods. The buildings are powered. So turn the lights on like we do at Fort Hood. So
I'm
Like
going to say my Twisted Tea is going to get a lot of action.
and of course the tier one. What's the tier one going to be? Are you guys going to use the subways? You're like, relax, folks. We have a plan. And then, of course, talking to Paul. Paul has the Huey. So,
Peter, you got a visitor.
I do.
Look behind you.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes, I mean that's probably an awesome AO to fly above.
it is. And so with Paul saying, hey, I can bring the Huey. And I was like, man, we can put 78 players on the Huey. And then there's just so much resources to use at that location. We can put you in, he fly you around, you shoot. He can either put you on top of the building right into the fight, or he can land you offset over by the down C-130.
And now they have the C-130 there too. That's going to be awesome.
So we did get to see the C-130, but it wasn't placed yet. It was just on the wheels.
Yeah, so it'll be in place by then. So, we've got options that I'm so excited because damn, Mark will burn out. You want to make something.
No, I was there.
Yes, you were there.
I was there Sunday at Mayhem. I was not there at Iron Horse 3 because I fell the night before.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you hurt your knee.
Yeah, I landed on the subway. I tripped over one of the ties and landed right on the edge of one of the blocks.
Well, like an hour there. I don't know what your excuse was.
And so that's the other half. A lot of people that have played at Guardian, there's just too much. Like some people say, there's too much space between the buildings. We're going to work with them to put dead vehicles in between the vehicle, to break it up a little bit.
That was one thing. They didn't have enough EMS to put enough vehicles out.
Yeah.
Or have them put out.
Well, remember, everything evolves around, how much cheddar you want to spend. And so, but to talk, to bring it back to Stonebreaker, the only concern I have with putting the respawns on the east side by the admin area, by the parking lot, is the number of players that will, I just need 5 minutes. And next thing you know, they've sat out 35, 40 minutes, 50 minutes of a round.
Yeah.
And we try to push the players so hard. It's like, guys, get in the game, stay in the game. Like we told the players at Overwatch, it was like, hey, guys, you're going to take a break on the field. Go pull security on a fucking corner of a building or something.
I never understood that when you spend that much money to go to an event and you spend time in the parking lot sitting at CP doing nothing. I think for the entire time of Overwatch, I was only in CP for maybe 15 minutes all day on Saturday and literally a total of 5 minutes on Sunday because I was constantly moving. We don't stop. For Iron Horse, I was only there to eat lunch because it was an all-day event. I was there for 30 minutes to eat lunch and leave.
Yeah. So the reason why we brought back the mortars and the command posts for Stonebreaker is we're going to tell people, hey, man, if you're tired and you need to take a break, the command post is on the field, the talk for each side. It's an easy up. It's a battle flag that you don't want to lose. If you're tired, go take a break in the shade over there and guard it for your team. Don't go all the way back to your vehicles because then you're not helping your team out at all. And we're not talking about CCPs. We're talking about, the command post. That's where the command flag is. So, it's going to be in the ass for Craig and Freddie, but they'll figure it out. I mean, but the hard part is players that's the reason why I don't like putting the respawns close to the parking lot because it's just tempting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to both events. I'm looking forward to getting all the stuff done that you need for the C-130. So, I mean, I'm going to get the anchor points and all that stuff to go up. I mean, hopefully by September, though, I will have the stairs installed for the back side of the bus. So we're actually going to weld post in so we can actually put a stair system right out the back. So it's flush with the door. So then that door can open and close, but people can walk downstairs and go out the back. Because at Overwatch 6, there was literally people who said, you can't go out the back of my bus. Why not? I was like, you have to sit your ass down on the floor and then jump off that way because 3.5 feet for somebody of your size is not smart.
You'll break the world.
Well, definitely some ankles, that's for sure. So we will have that by that time. I think we'll have the stairs put in. So
one thing I'll close with here is we posted a poll up on Third Coast Community about camo patterns, and Wiener, you saw it, right? I mean, we take player feedback very seriously, and so when we created the specialty units, we purposely said, okay, we have an opportunity here to make it a very particular uniform color, so that way the serious milsimmer could plug into a unit,
right?
And man, some players get it, some players don't. I don't think some players understand what milsim is, like true milsim. Guys who remember the old school Lion Claws, it was Woodland versus DCU, and at the time DCU was easy to get a hold of. Woodland still is. It's a retro pattern. I feel very vintage. Anyways,
I like it.
And so guys don't remember those days where you had to chase down, desert camo pattern. And that was it. It was 2 patterns, period. And then AMS came on the scene, and we came on the scene where we were like, hey, tan versus green, here are our patterns. And there's this whole multi-cam looks green. I'm like, dude, it's tan. Like, it's brown. It's shit brown, okay? Even the okay, you bought it from China. It's shit pink. Next,
Hey, my uniform resembles that remark.
So the guys who buy ATACs, and it's like, look, you want to wear the Gucci flaws, I'm with you. We're always going to make allowances for that because we want you guys to come out and have a good time. One year we went to an event. We took a bunch of ACUs and dyed them cider green, and they looked like Canadian Marpat or a Cat Pat. And everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's a green uniform! It's awesome!" And I'm like, "Yeah." At that Third Coast game, we'd be in Eastern. And so, and guys were like, you should allow multicam black. I'm like, get fucked. That's staff colors. Sorry.
Yep.
And that's one thing I like is that you're wearing black. That's staff.
Yeah.
It's very easy to distinguish staff from not. That's why when we started doing the battle bus stuff, it's like, okay, if you're on the bus, you wear a Hawaiian shirt. That way, you're noticed and not as somebody that's an actual target. Like when I got off the bus a couple times, people saw me, like one guy was pointing his gun at me. As soon as I came off, you saw him put his gun up because he realized I'm not a target. And I was like, and I looked over, I was like, thank you.
So a friend of mine, he's like, man, we got a hot debate going on over at TCA Community about the camo patterns. And I'm like, look, guys, we have to bring more mill to the sim. You have to, Overwatch, Doomsday, the companies have to evolve because the customers are evolving. And if you're going to pay that much cash to come to a Milsim event, then you got to put more value in it. You got to put more organization to it. That doesn't mean we're not going to have you at the event. It just means that if you're in Chaos Company has 2 patterns. And if you don't have those patterns, well, then I guess you're going to go get a hardcore company that's going to have multiple patterns, any pattern. But I would find that most players who seem to want to wear a Gucci pattern generally aren't very much team players anyway. Like the guy who wears Project Honor. I'm like, dude, no one's wearing that shit.
I have one very important question. Am I still allowed to wear my red shoes?
Sure. I'm amazed at people who want more realism, but then balk at it when you bring it to the game. And I'm like, you guys aren't reading what we're telling you. We're telling you that the following companies are going to be these patterns. And if you don't have those patterns, then you're going to be an H company, or you're going to be in Fox company if you're, and I got some guys are like, well, I've always been in Baker Company. I'm like, okay, then get the Baker pattern.
Yeah, if you've always been there, get it. Yep.
Like I told my guy specifically that that are on my team, I was like, look, when you join the team, you need to get three different uniforms that we use. Multicam for tan, we do Ranger green for green, and then we get solid tan for one event. And now it's like you got to get Hawaiian shirts because it doesn't matter what the bottoms are, just as long as the Hawaiian shirts for the bus stuff. And they're like, Why? It's like, because that way when we go, we know what side we're on. We don't have to sit there and mix and match. Just buy these uniform sets and we look more coherent as a unit. Well, we're not going to be in this really cool unit. I was like, the reality is, no matter what unit we're in, more than likely, this unit's going to be a lone wolf as a unit and go off and do whatever needs to be done, regardless. Like,
I always appreciate when guys come up, especially at Doomsday, at Overwatch, and they all show up and they're all wearing the same camo pattern. Like, Sal, we're here. We're the Miami freaking Beach Raiders. I'm like, okay, great. There's 18 of you. Awesome. You're all wearing the same color. Great. All right. Go smash that ant. And they take off. Go, all right. And the tryhards. I'm like, go knock that shit out. And they go after it. It matters. It does.
It does.
And we're, like I said, we're not going to exclude anybody. We're a business. We want money. But we want to make sure no one's excluded. But at the same time, it's like, hey, look, guys, if you're not any one of these patterns and you're not in any one of these units, then join Hotel Company, join Fox Company, and that's kind of the open patterns. The other half of it is and you're going to love this, Winger. If there's 90 spots to wear Morpat, and they're all sold, then you got to do excuse me, I'm late to the party. Fucker, you should have been on time to the party and bought a ticket when everybody else did. All I have is Marpat. I'm sorry, there's a limit to the number of people in this unit. It's a forcing function. If you're going to commit to the event, commit to the event.
Sorry, go ahead, continue.
The number of people, I need a refund. Are you military or law enforcement? No, then I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
A Blade Show, we don't mind dye masks, man. Dye masks are fine. Protect your face.
A lot of that also helps out. Like, if you're on the field, you could identify what unit people are in. It's like, instead of asking the question of, what unit are you in? And I think Sal froze. He definitely froze.
I did want to ask him a question when he does unfreeze, in regards to the uniforms.
There he goes.
There he's back.
It fell off.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's the common. It's been going on for years and years and years. Which uniforms are which and things like that. And it popped up again. Guys wearing confusing uniforms. I know there's some uniforms out there that look a little, and if they fade a little bit, they're no longer green. They look more tan, stuff like that. Are you at any point looking to eliminate any uniforms from?
No, kind of goes back to the whole Cryptek, Mandrake, and what was the other one? Highlander. Mm-hmm. Cryptek, it's not a shitty pattern, but if you buy the real stuff, it's not a shitty pattern. If you buy the off stuff, it's a very it's like ATAX FG and ATAX. Most guys who have the cash to buy that also can buy other uniforms. One of the guys was like, "Do you guys allow us to wear the Navy seagoing speckleflage or whatever?" And I'm like, "Dude, you're the only guy wearing that shit, man."
But I really want to wear this. Well, guess what?
Well, you're gonna know. Like ACU was like, Sal, why don't you guys get rid of UCP? Excuse me, the universal camouflage pattern. Why do you guys still mandate Darby wear it? I'm like, because that's an homage to the guys that we served with in Task Force Darby. Plus I think it's cool when a unit. Plus, dude, UCP is so cheap. Shit. I think I'm gonna have an entire sofa upholstered in. Just as an homage to my grandmother's sofa. Anyways, I'll just blend in when I'm drowning. Yeah, but remember, when it gets wet with salt water, it gives off a fluorescent orange. Anyways, but no, to answer your question, Papa, we're not looking to phase out any camo patterns. Camo patterns generally do that by themselves. I remember I had guys, we're Russians, and we're Russian FSB or whatever, and we wear multicam, but we're Russians. I'm like, hey, dude, have you looked at our sides? Because Western and Eastern aren't real. They're Western Alliance and the Eastern Empire. So, doesn't matter what side you're on, dude. You want to relive the commie days, that's fine. There's other events for that. But if you're going to play Third Coast, just pick tan or green.
I really don't understand sometimes the way people fight and go against this so hard. And it's like, it's like as if it's something new. I can understand if it was my first time going to an event and I asked the question, hey, I have this camo, do I have to buy another? Cool. But when you see the same people arguing over and over again for the camo patterns, it's like, how long you been playing Airsoft? How many events have you going to?
Yeah,
why don't you just...
Especially when they're running $1,000 rig. You're running hold on, wait a minute. You're running $1,000 gun. You're wearing Cry Precision chest rig or Haley Disruptive, environment rig. You're wearing Solomon's, and you're wearing a real Mitch. Dude, you alone are wearing $3,500 worth of shit. And you're bitching about, no.
I can't afford it anymore, man. That's why I spent all my money on this gear. Too bad, so sad.
Like, so the dude at Bone Strike wearing the Vegetato Italian, the Italian camo. I almost picked up a set for myself because it looks so fucking cool. And as you look at it, when you're physically looking at it, it's green. I mean, and I laughed when players, that dude fucking owned me and I couldn't identify who he was. I'm like, you're the same guy who lit up 4 friendlies, dude. Shut up. Do you guys don't have friendly fire here, right? Like, no.
A round is a round is a round.
Round is a round. Bullets do not discriminate.
You keep your own guys. You kept your own guys. You did.
That's like one of the funniest things I see whenever I play. It's like, especially when we were at Miami Airsoft one day and I accidentally turned around and I shot this guy and I was like, oh crap. He starts playing. I was like, dude, team kills count. He goes, they do? You shot me. I'm on your team. I was like, yeah, man, it was an accident. Sorry. My bad. You spun around and you pointed your gun at me. I shot you. Just had to keep myself in. So it is what it is. But like even some of these big games, it's like if you're a hit's a hit unless it's a ricochet, and depending on the event, depends on whether or not a gun hit counts or not. So
yeah, I would tell you that if and again going back to Doomsday, we're at Overwatch. Me and Gabe were in that little the haircut in the barber shop, and a gazillion BBs come screaming in there and they're bouncing all over the place. And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna call myself out before a straight on hit hits me. Because there's at least 1,000 BBs entering this place, and we both got hit. We both lay down, and next thing you know, like 16 frags go in there. And it was like, oh god, there goes my hearing.
Yep.
We had that at Mayhem Mill. I was one guy, and I wasn't camping their spawn per se. I was letting all the players get about 30 to 40 feet out. I was in this dark area and I waited for them to come out, but they're coming out so nonchalantly. So you'd be pissed off. It's like you would see these guys come out with their gun down, chit chat and everything else. Next thing you know, if there's a group of 4 or 5, I'll take the first 2 guys out and then put BBs over the heads of everybody else. Because one, I'm a content creator, so I need the content of firefights, and then had them scrambling and then they're complaining, this is our spawn. I was like, your spawn's back that way. I'm not shooting into your spawn. You're coming out of your spawn acting as if nothing's there. It's a hot AO. Come get me.
So that's another big gripe. And Wiener, you've seen it. Well, there's spawn capping. I'm like, there's multiple ways out of your spawn. More importantly, we brief it all the time. It's not going to help their side win camping the spawn. Especially at GTI where, okay, if I go up the hill, I'm going to go right into the jock building. You can also go straight down the road and then bust a left and go up the ridge and go right into the jock building. And so people always bitch and moan about, we can't get out of our spawn. I'm like, really? Like you don't want to maneuver? You don't want to shoot, move, and communicate? That's kind of the
how many guys are out there?
Sounds a little familiar, huh?
Yeah.
How many guys are actually in there? When I was doing it at Mayhem Mill, I was one guy. And it took 2 full squads to take me out. So it was just me doing this. And then after I got taken out, they're throwing frags into where I was. I finally said after the 3rd frag when I was like, hey, guys, I was the only one back there. They're like, no, there's more. And they threw another frag. And actually, hear, hit. He goes, see? I was like, cartel? Yeah. I was like, good job team killing, buddy.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm trying to save you money because
Yeah.
to me it was funnier than hell. But yeah, it's like, love it when they just throw grenade after grenade after grenade. It's like, dude, we're dead. Or like, especially the dead people. It's like, we're dead. We're dead.
We're dead.
Dude, we're super dead. We're not even respawning at this point. Somebody comes in and can res us, we're dead.
Hey, quick little interjection
Sure.
while we still have Sal too. Go ahead and click on my share screen there, Joker. Just wanted to share that. That's a couple of days ago. They went through. Yep.
That was the
Was that your son?
Yeah, well, he's in there somewhere.
Yeah, your son's in there. Yeah.
So what they're doing in basic training now, at least here, is they're updating for the families, since we're not going to be able to go to graduation or anything. They're publishing daily training so we can actually see what's going on. And so they went to the gas chamber, and there's other pictures up there, but none of him directly. And some guys, it actually shows their name tags, and I'm not going to just throw that out there. This is the only one that was like this. Somewhere in there, he's in there.
He's dumb.
And all I'm thinking about is I remember going through that. My eyes are open, my arms are flapping. I ran smack, like dead, into the biggest drill sergeant we had, and he just grabbed me by the head and just threw.
So here's one for you. I have a resistance to CS.
You're one of those.
Over time,
I can be around CS and my nose will run, but I won't start gagging or coughing or freaking out, And so the drill sergeants identified me very, very quickly. They were like, "Oh, we want him." Okay, they're like, "Hey, do me a favor. We want you to stand here, and when we tell everybody, we're going to tell you to take your mask off, and we're going to convince all the other privates that it's not that bad." Yes, drill sergeant. Yes, drill sergeant. So I go in there and I'm standing there like, "All right, he's going to demonstrate that it's not that bad. All right, private, take your mask off." I take the mask off. Do some push-ups. I go down, do some push-ups, and everybody's looking at it going, and this kid's already dancing like, "It's bad in the back of my neck," and they're like, "Oh, it can't be that bad. All right, take your masks off." And it was like, everybody's like, "He lied," It was like, and then so I'm there the whole fucking day. And so at the end of the day, they're like, "Hey, come here, private." And I go, "Yes." And he goes, "Do me a favor. As soon as you go out the door, hug the drill sergeant out there."
Yo, that's not even right.
He was like, I got you. I was like, you want me to what, drill sergeant? Like, I just want to make sure. He's like, "Private, exit the gas chamber and hug the first drill sergeant you see." Those are the ones that like flap your arms, keep walking this way, walk upwind. Yeah, they kind of guide you out. And so I leave, and I literally grab the first drill sergeant, and she, it's like, So I got lit into. I got smoked, but it was a good smoke.
Over time, you get more used to it. You don't freak out anymore, things like that. Yeah. And one year, I bring in, we go, every 6 months, test your mask, test your gear, all that. And we're going through, and I'm at this point, I'm just like, my guys are in, I take it off and I stand there and I'm just looking at them because you got to be a little hard ass, So I'm like, all right, when I'm standing, I'm doing everything. Walk out, take off all my mop and everything, and I throw it in the trunk of my car. And I forget that it's there for like 2 weeks, right? One day I got to go to the trunk. I don't remember what for. Windy day, too. I opened the trunk and the wind just went, and I went, and everything just starts flowing because it came out, because all it takes is that little bit gets on you and it just starts just draining everything. And I'm just,
I can do them right now because I could really get half of El Paso out of my nose.
I built up a resistance for it because I was in all the protests in Portland,
So when I was teaching our ROTC, I had to be a TAC instructor at the summer camp. And at summer camp, we had cadets that would refuse to go in there. They're like, "No, I'm not doing it." I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to ask you 3 times. You refuse to train on the 3rd time, you're out of here." And they're like, well, will you go in there with me? And I'm like, "Sure, I'll go in there with you. I don't even need a mask." And go in there, they're like, it was good times. But yeah, you put all your shit away and literally it just hits you in the face later. But the best part was you tell cadets you cannot have contacts in.
Oh,
And
God.
afterwards, don't go to the bathroom. And what happened? What's the first thing these fuckers have to do? I have to go to the latrine. And they go to the latrine and they're like, it's good. Yep. Yeah.
That's like rubbing your eyes after eating hot wings, man. Like that you learn. If anybody who's ever been through the gas chamber a couple of times, you'll never see them eat hot wings and accidentally rub their eyes.
Yeah,
that does never happen.
Yeah, you got a female cadet running over to you going, it's burning. You're like, so
told not to do it.
I told you not to do it. So okay. Let's see, Stonebreaker. Okay, on the go surplus will be there. We missed them at Bone Strike, but they had a family emergency. Mark and Stephanie, we're glad to see them there. They've saved a lot of people when people split their crotches on their pants and they run over to On the Go and get another pair of pants. So let's see who else is. I got a few messages popping up here. Okay. So yeah,
You got Airsoft there.
Yep.
You're going to probably have tactical imaging.
Yep.
PTS is going to be there.
PTS is supposed to have somebody there.
Wolverine
will be there, of course.
That's funny. I know that. I know a lot of spots just off the top of my head.
So we're looking forward. We're looking forward to having. Hopefully, we'll have Taggin there.
Cool.
Try to have him there. If not there, then Viking for sure.
Are you guys going to test out that new mortar system there?
If he can get here in time. If he can't get there, then we'll try to test it at another event. A lot of questions that we're getting for folks are we going to do another Mountain Viper? Are we going to do another Vietnam game? Namsofting, man. There's a group out there that really wants to do another Vietnam game. And so we're looking at August to do one. We were talking about doing Dragon Rogue again. Dragon Rogue is always a fun one.
I will say TCA has popped off with the amounts of events that you guys are doing. And for people that have not been to a TCA event, the sheer fun factor of these events is really high. I mean, I was going to be at Bone Strike, but I was given an ultimatum by the wife. Either I go to Mayhem Mill or Bone Strike. I can't do both. And I already have my ticket for Mayhem Mill. And I was like, sorry, guys, I can't go to Bone Strike because that's also my bread and butter, those indoor fields. So I regret not going. But, man, I can't wait to see what other AOs you guys bring out because the Guardian Center one, if you have not been to Guardian Center, you have to go to Guardian Center. If you have not been to GTI and you play Airsoft, you have to go to GTI at least once.
Yep.
Keep rubbing it in. Thank you, Joker.
Yeah. Fort Hood, Camp Shelby.
I have been. That one I've been to.
Camp Shelby's not going to be for a while. If that.
Camp Shelby. Okay. I'm over it now. Maybe at some point in the future we'll get back to Shelby.
That's a fun one.
It's Trench Knife was a great one. We were looking at another AO for Iron Fury. The AO that it should have been at, we just couldn't reach a price point. We couldn't get a deal on it. But in the future, I think we can. We'll probably try to get back there. Yeah, man. At one point, we did 9 events in 1 year, and that was probably 2015, 2016. We knocked out 9 events in a year, and
you guys are close to that this year with what you've mentioned so far.
Well, it depends because with COVID, it's hard to schedule things.
Yep.
And that's really on the AO, that's not on our side. That's on the AO side. The AOs are like, I don't know if we want to do this.
Not to get political, but it looks like that they're trying to get every person vaccinated by May is the next thing now that they have the Johnson & Johnson vaccine coming out. So hopefully they can hit close to that goal.
Or do they just want to build past?
We're trying not to get political here, man. I'm looking for I just want the vaccine for me and my kids, okay?
So the Johnson & Johnson vaccine sounds like 120 million vaccines one time.
Yeah,
That's big.
it's a
But
big,
I think
it's a
there,
big vaccine, so you're gonna feel.
and I would tell you there's money to be made in every crisis. Every crisis.
Yeah.
Regardless of your red, blue, purple, somebody's making money. And so the longer you draw something out, the gravy train stays rolling. And so what more than health? And so, I think that we're going to see, I go for my second shot next Monday. So, it is what it is. I didn't get a tracker. The guys were like, so you gave into that shit. Guys, vaccines work.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a known fact. So plus it's the Army. Your readiness is everything. I've had enough shot into me anyway. Typhoid, Japanese hemorrhagic fever, anthrax. How many anthrax shots were there supposed to be? 6? I think I have 9. I don't know.
I was in 1-8 Cat. We were rapid deployment. Every 6 months, bang them in. Gamma globulin every year. Absolutely.
No, the peanut butter shot. Woo!
Yeah.
So hopefully that everything, because it's not just these events. I have a board game company that has made almost zero income.
Yeah.
Because my bread and butter was doing conventions. 1 year, 2018, we did 45 conventions in 1 year.
That's serious road time.
It was. Now I planned it appropriately, where I was on a string and everything else. So it was a lot. So hopefully we can get back to some sort of normality. So then that way, we go there. It's like I don't go to an event and I'm wearing a face mask and people go, "Oh, sheeple." It's like, no, dude, I'm just trying to protect my kid and you in case I have it. Like my wife got exposed on last Friday. One of our coworkers has COVID, and
what bothers me though is the fact that we haven't done antibody testing on any kind of scale.
I don't know about where you guys are, but they actually have antibody testing here in Florida.
Yeah, they are doing it here.
It hasn't been on a widespread scale like it should be.
Because that's how I know I got it back in March of last year was because I had to go get the antibody test. Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow I got it in August because when I donated blood in September, I tested for antibodies. And everyone around us at the office got it except for me and my sergeant major. And we were just like, and we were by the shot place and they were like, we can get you guys in right now. We're like, oh yeah. So guys can bitch and moan. They're like, oh my God, they put a tracker in your butt. I'm like, look, dude, we're not that.
The needle's not that big, guys.
Yeah.
How big that needle has to be. I used to have to put those microchips in my dogs. The needle's freaking huge.
Oh yeah, it's huge. Yep.
It'll use a hole in your ass.
So we know vaccines work. And I'm glad that Pfizer cut a deal with Johnson & Johnson to make the Johnson & Johnson version. So they're looking at 120 Americans getting a shot by the end of the month. So I think we can get back to normal. Plus, they have the U.S. Army running freaking vaccination areas. And you know how efficient we are. We don't do a whole lot of good, but Papa, we're all about giving shots, bro.
But at this point, that there's not much more about the events and all that stuff. We can go and wrap it up. But Stonebreaker, you still have a few Hilo flights left, so let's get those sold out for you. How many tier 1s are left? Do you know?
Eastern has about 8 tickets left. Western is sold out. On the subject of player tickets, guys, it shuts off on Friday, and it's probably gonna be sold out before Friday, before tomorrow. If I just let it run until Sunday, we'll probably sell this fucker out, as usual, because guys are like GTI, and I don't know, man. Talking to GTI, they're leery about letting anybody else go. Let any other hosting company go back there because there's been some issues with vandalization and players doing stupid shit. And so, that kind of pissed me off because I'm like, don't lose GTI for me because that would seriously whoever hosts last that fucked it up, we're gonna dox the shit out of you because you just denied a great AO for players. So
Yeah.
a lot of people think it's easy to host, but it's like, hey, dude, $100 ticket brings you $100 problems. A $90 ticket brings you $90 problems. A $45 ticket brings you drama like you can't fucking believe.
Very true.
Again, guys are like, oh, I could afford the Guardian Center. And you're like, okay, well, you can do, I'll sell 1,000 tickets. You're like, at what price? At $45 a piece. You're like, oh my God, it'll be just shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Because most people don't realize that when you have 1,000 people there, you need to have support staff for 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And some event holders like Doomsday can handle larger events because they have embedded refs on each side. They have their combat controllers that they trust and everything else. But a lot of these event holders don't have that. So next thing you know, you're dealing with an event holder that has like 500 people when they have only done 200 before. They don't have the support staff for it. Next thing you know, people are screaming up a storm. That guy's not calling us hits because cheaters know when they can get away with stuff. That's why they do it, And it happened at a pretty big AO event. It happened at Mayhem Mill, not against Lion Claw or anything, but there were so many dark areas and so few staff compared to how many people were on the field. Yeah. There was yeah. The cartel were not calling hits on multiple occasions and everything else, and that happens with that. But if they see cameras on people's heads and they see people walking around, people generally be more well behaved.
And so what I love about GTI is if you pay for it, you get to use the camera system. So, and we've also got our trail cams that we're putting back out. We haven't used those since Trench Knife, since Shelby. And so we're putting the Wi-Fi cameras, the Wi-Fi trail cams back out so we can get more player content. So, nice. And they only turn on when you walk past them. So that's the best part, Daytime, nighttime, whatever. So,
but
guys, I'll let you guys.
Well, we're wrapping up for tonight anyway. So, per normal, it's almost 11 o'clock here, so we're gonna go and end this one tonight. Only 2 hours and 35 minutes this time. So I want to go ahead and thank Papa from Dead End Outfitters for coming on.
My pleasure.
Wiener from Doomsday Airsoft, and of course Z-Man from DCA. And until next time, we all can't. And of course, I'm Joker from Players Wanted, as if you guys didn't already know that. Until next time, we'll see you out on the field. So good night.
Night.